state beach. We done made it off the block we skated. Massachusetts made its way to New York State. Close a peace game, we can take it. Black bandana, black and green bandana, 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 black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green. I'm that gang shit, I'm that we don't play shit. Let it spray shit, bluffing ain't no fake shit. Let it bang shit, let your colors hang shit. On that great shit, chopper spitting flame shit.
I said this right, man. I really am that fail today.
We done made it off the block we skated.
Think I'm white on a good day, you ain't see me when I'm sick.
New York State,
Whiter than white.
Game. We can take this whole country
Negative light.
one block at a time, bricks in halves, quarters down. Flip it one more time, stacking paper, godless crime. Facts like shit, you dealt with on the real quick. Extra clicks, plastic filter too, tip. Black bandana, black and green bandana, 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 black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green. Tony Montana, we got your shit on us. Now throw children in the car because we get no fuck. Throw up your flag, throw up your signs and represent. We with the crew, man, KT guns slit your neck. We dangerous like Buster Bus in 97. We aiming and you wanna stay way to heaven. I'm about to let you get the fact I'm fucking white. I got that heart that's soft to put that fucking white. In my kitchen serving fiends feeding addiction. My money's straight just like I leave you fucking bitching. I wave and flags with black and green like LA Crip.
I can't take that right now.
After possibly being exposed and died exactly 1 month later. On Monday, the family says they drove Leo to the hospital.
We got an outbreak in a fucking dairy. Pluto, there you go.
Home.
2 days before he died.
City News reached out to Humber
Well, you
River
thought dumping
Hospital
milk down the
and said
drain
they were
was a problem
saddened to learn
before.
about Leonard's death. In a statement, they also said, quote, standard hospital policy includes clinical assessments for safe discharge and instructions to return to the emergency department for any reason.
That's Faiza Amin reporting in Toronto.
I got one of those stupid
61-year-old
pieces of paper
Leonard
here, don't mean
Rodriguez
shit.
is the 4th VSW to die of COVID-19 in the region. You're listening
In
to
the
News
region.
Radio
Okay,
at
they
6
said
minutes
five
past the hour. The
yesterday,
Greater
so
Montreal
was
area
that
has the
7?
most COVID cases in the country, with more than 18,000 reported and over 1,700 who've been killed. Sharon Yonan-Reynolds reports now Quebec Public Health is undertaking a massive screening campaign to get a better understanding of just how bad it is there.
To reach the target of 14,000 tests on a daily basis.
The province is also expecting to hire hundreds of people to conduct investigations and tracings of COVID-19 cases.
The first step in this process relies on the cooperation by the population.
The death rate per million for the Greater Montreal region is 4 times that of Toronto and more than 10 times Vancouver's. The city's public health director said the massive screening operation will specifically focus on areas such as Montreal North and Saint Michel, where the case rates are approaching, and in the case of Montreal North, exceeding some New York City levels.
We're going in neighborhoods where we know that we have specific barriers to access to testing that can be language, community, certain cultural communities, or transportation.
In Montreal, Sharon Yonan-Reynolds, City News.
The federal government is ready to help out with public transit systems as more workers are laid off because of reduced demand.
People are going to need to be able to get to and from work as we want to get the economy going again. But the federal government is always looking to be a partner in helping out in terms of economic relaunch.
Justin, play a role for me. Pretend the whole world is
Trudeau says it will be up to the provinces to prop up municipal transit systems. The Toronto Transit Commission will be scaling back service starting this weekend, and there's growing concern for the potential of overcrowding on some routes again. Mark Douglas joins us with a call for mandatory face masks for using public transit in Toronto.
Should every single TTC passenger be required to wear a mask before they get on a vehicle? The Transit Workers Union says yes. President of ATU Local 113, Carlos Santos.
I would like to see them wear a mask on every vehicle, not just buses, on every vehicle, and that's for the safety of our passengers as well.
He says it will be especially important to have that extra protection from COVID-19 now that retail shopping is starting to open up and more people will be riding transit more often. But Mayor John Tory and the city's top doctor, Dr. Eileen Davila, seem to agree ridership is still so low, there's no need for masks for now.
The current situation, as we see it on the TTC, is that physical distancing can be maintained under the current conditions. But of course, this is something that always needs to be reviewed.
I'm Mark Douglas.
Public transit throughout Metro Vancouver's being saved from the chopping block, Paul James reports. A new interim funding agreement has been reached between the province and TransLink.
Conceding the final details of the agreement are still being worked out, New Westminster Mayor Jonathan Cote, who heads the Mayor's Council, says the promises they've been given now allow them to shelve planned service cuts for later this month. Will also rehire 1,500 drivers and other employees who had already been given pay slips.
This agreement definitely does buy us some time, allows us to implement viable transit service during this recovery phase.
TransLink has been struggling with losses of around $75 million a month and had been preparing to cut over 40 routes as of May 18th. A return to bus fare collection, though, still going ahead as of June 1st. I'm Paul James.
It's 9 minutes past the hour. You're listening to All News Radio.
On the car today, a much better
My coughing seems a lot worse. Every time I try to cough, I have to suppress it because this shit from the fucking mouth.
All the busted ass kids in the track, clean the skill. Live by the gun and we'll make sure you die for the bill. It's on now, we committed murders of life. All you fakes perpetrating, living lies in your life. All the busted ass kids in the track, clean the skill. Live by the gun,
Whatever the fuck's
die
wrong
for the
with
bills.
I run at you like a maniac with a pencil, fuck the trigger finger, because killing you simple. A psychopath going through a brain relapse. Somebody better hold him down because he's about to attack. They tell me to relax, to stop and take a breath. But the only way I'll get better is by witnessing your death. You can't stop me, motherfucker. Getting to you, ain't got no armor on my chest enough to get through your crew. These drugs they have me on aren't affecting my brain, but the anger that I'm feeling is causing me pain. I'm coming for you, and there is nowhere to run. And when we meet face to face, you know it won't be no fun. Your end is coming near. Can't you feel it's close? Even if I die before you, you'll still be caressed by my ghost. I'll get you any way I can while you wake or sleep. Just trying to see you die before I'm fucking dead in these streets.
It's on now, we committed murders of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lies in your life. All the busted ass kids in the track, clean the skill. Live by the gun and we'll make sure you die for the bills. It's on now, we committed murders of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lies in your life. All the busted ass kids in the track, clean the skill. Live by the gun, we'll make sure you die for the bills.
I don't snatch chains like open throats. I don't steal trailers, I steal bones. I don't write tracks like no one knows. Shit and call it a phone. Raw, dirty jokes, call me Rome. With the silencer pointed at your dome. I'll for you the last call home. One of the sickens, clapping at chickens. Tell the bitch stop flicking. Toss it aside and grab the next seat around my ride. Always down for homicide when the feet collide. I got enough to provide for all the haters that duck and hide. The quickest on the slide, go make sure your two legs tied and stay inside. A bullet hit me down, but this battery should be elemental. Keeping me down, so not my thinking ways. Fucked up the dance with the recorder burning.
It's on now, we committed murders of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lies in your life. All the busted ass kids in the track, clean the skill. Live by the gun and we'll make sure you die for the bill. It's on now, we committed murders of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lies in your life. All the busted ass kids in the trap and you live by the guns, make sure you die for the bills. I'm a rapist of words, skillfully pillaging herds, hate and shame, and they tongue through the thick of their shirt. Perfected linguists with demonic linguistics. Leave a pentagram life and I don't really give a shit. So cynically simple, ask forgiveness for being, but ain't nobody giving two shits about my state of being. I pepper shots from drive-bys on a Catholic school. Hear the screams and boom blasts from the picks of my tools. No escaping the hearty grip from the frozen heart in my chest. I like a step and step next in the short of a set. You push me, I push beyond the limits of pushing back. A veteran cat, desensitized from the fiends in the pen. The world's falling apart, ain't no one here to help you stand. We all victims of the compensation from the sins of man. It's getting worse, here comes the end from the start. Figure your way out or come and join me up in the dark. It's on now, we commit murder of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lies in your life. All the busted ass kids in the trap things kill. Live by the guns, make sure you die for the bills. It's on now, we commit murder of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lies in your life. All the busted ass kids in the trap things kill. Live by the guns, make sure you die for the bills. It's on now, we commit murder of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lies in your life. All the busted ass kids in the trap things kill. Live by the guns, make sure you die for the bills. It's on now, we committed murder of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lies in your life. All the busted ass kids in the trap things kill.
My nervous
Live by
system
the guns,
collapses.
make sure you die for the bills.
All you pussies can fuck up. And landed flat. With it, landed flat. Those crumbs with the weed that's not really helping me right now. I dropped $1 on the floor. But my spiders will end up eating it, so I'm not worried about it. I'm one of them schizo kids who fucking around with you. Yeah. Fucked up to the tail in the ribs. DJ rolling the dog. You give a fucking fuck. But I'm dropping the kids. That's not.
We be them schizo kids. We be them schizo kids. Hey, yo. I hold a murderous mind as dark and twisted and blind and meant to define as the grim reaper around the dark night of master. Spit natural disasters, rust for bone fractures and blood plasma flash. I'm the one you don't get to play with.
Oh, fuck, you put a nigger bitch in the money, man. Why you just give me those feds? You fucking fuck. It ain't for you, it's for us.
To flex with the sharp syllables and slice necks. And step to a beat and step with the rhythm. I beat that ass like the beat when the bass starts hitting. My personality's hitting, so which one is it?
Seven homies celebrating through the Berlin. Stone cold hard with the go hard drive. Stone so snatched with these old so cold lines. I'm the lifeline and I'm the life that. I'm a little trappy and my niggas clappy.
You know who this is.
Give a fuck about your Bible and your spirit. Oh, some white man I pay you some American money, now you're a big rich man. You a nigga, bro. Practicing some bastard white man. That's what you're doing. Let me undo something, bro. Open the door open.
When I'm writing these words and when I start to these verbs, just tell me what you have heard because it is
Isn't absurd.
When I'm spitting these rhymes, I get poetic at times, so don't be
God,
fighting
you
around.
tried to kill me for years. You're not scared, bitch.
Giving up on the goals because your luck full of holes, so let me hurt this you cold. Keep a smile on your face, you just hate it such a waste. You don't want to end up shamed and be the one with the blame. I'm just killing these cats and I'm just spitting these raps and I'll be done with these facts.
Smoke your cats and the rest of the rest.
I'll leave you all in the days before the words that I'm saying have to taken away. I look at you like you're not the only one who's on top. You really need to just stop and get the hell off your rock. Maybe we're all just like you, don't really want to be weird, but you're just killing the mood and you're not gonna get you. You beat them shit so kids. You already know what it is.
What is it?
Yo, Jeezy, before nothing, I ain't gonna see you over there. Yeah.
Been out on the grind for the minute, trying to get it out, and I've been getting it. These niggas have been sweating it. Don't get out the bed for when I phone a nigga begging it. I'm way ahead of it, I'll ride upon a nigga letting it off. When it comes to this rap shit, I've got this, and so is Jeezy low. Man, a greasy folk. I'm out for them notes, but I still keep it close. Case a man try provoke, that's 5 shots through his throat. Listen, if you know, then you know. I'm still on London Road, shotting hoes, stashing knives in me clothes. If it's not your beat, don't get involved. Don't be right now, slap a nigga down, and no cases getting sold. Listen, I'm the shooter, you're the victim. I rode out with him and told police I went with him. I gave me boy follow tips, slopes to the mood. Just said that's for that dude. The next day, when it clipped him, I'm back on it. Mate just got the shotty. Said I don't want it. I've got nowhere to put it. Plus it's out of bullets, and I hate them shotguns. Cause when it's beef, I've never got nowhere to stuff it. I ride out with hand things with bullets that expand. If a hit man by the barbers, he gon' land by pound. Like nine rocks. So don't act like you found, man. 8 bills for the odds if you want that brown tan. Listen, I'm trying to stay low off the radar from Pope because I know they want me so. They're still trying to find me from crimes that I did years ago, but I don't even give a fuck. I got fined once, they hit me with some threats, talk about they'll take the shit if I didn't pay the debt. You gotta cheat, little fucking dumplings. Tell them Jeezy, straight Liverpool to Toronto. You know what it is?
You want the money, this guitarist, come send me your mother. I'll pay that bitch.
I'm like, bang, bang, shots fly, body found in the park again. So flew like an angel with the darkest sins. You can't fly by the carpet ways. So I had to watch him sink like agnostic shit. It's like I built this on my own, no partnership. I did it solo, nigga, this my nigga, so I shot it up solo. First time I nigga, the clip spilled for the GoPro. And I'm like, word to my mother, this pop kills. And if I don't have it, then I know that this knife does. See where I'm from? Man, know that the totally got sliver. Poor man, turn your liver to a pool of blood, it's that real. Cap pill, but the gas will. And the thing gets stashed in the backfield. And I'm like, niggas been snaking and all that. You know I'm a boss, I took a break, but I'm taking it all back. Handles done smooth, pump short, cause I saw that. Guns with suppressors like I'm ready for combat. Yo, A-Star, all these fuck niggas beyond that. It's one phone call, 7 niggas in all black, we ready, nigga. Hop back and blow deadly, nigga. Stays in my hand, can't talk it, it's too heavy, nigga. Yeah, hop back and blow deadly, nigga. Stays in my hand, can't talk it, it's too heavy, nigga.
Curses. Curses. Oh, I'm a heathen. A blasphemous heathen. Winning the sinning. But Jesus sold weight, so I don't see what your people's issue with me is. What are the packs?
Why don't you come around here and I'll make you feel right at home? From the couch to the floor, we'll be in the zone. Let's get it on till the dawn, alright? Kissing in the midst of the prairie horizon. Honeymoon chemistry is what I'm feeling from you. A perfect love story with a rough draft prelude. I wanna make it right and follow right through. Honey, breakfast in bed is something I can do for you. Eat your mangoes from the tip of my tongue, and I can get it on. So baby, give me some, and I can give you some, and we can go from there. Keep it PG, but you see what I mean. Let's go walk, let me walk and trail and watch the sunset and the moon and how the whales get rocks by the river and sit on the beach. Quiet times in the city can never be beat. So baby, you can do your thing, and I can do my thing. No, we can do our thing. Say, baby, you can do your thing. So do your thing, and I can do my thing. No, we can do our thing. It's showtime, your time to shine. Escalating at a pace that I'm tough to be blind. I get it, got it good. You're doing what you shouldn't. Let me tell you that you ain't misunderstood. I'm doing my thing, and you're doing yours. Making life happen and dreaming of the worlds. You're dreaming and being, I'm dreaming world tours. And I think it's very sexy when you show me your flow. Dress and caress and get the best of me. I can be your best friend if you let me see what you believe. Honestly, the perfect life could be, then honey, I'll support you in the front row seat. Then baby, you can do your thing, and I can do my thing, so we can do our thing. Say, baby, you can do your thing, so do your thing, and I can do my thing, so we can do our thing. Baby, you can do your thing, and I can do my thing, so we can do our thing. Say, baby, you can do your thing, so do your thing, and I can do my thing, so we can do our thing.
That's the sound of the beat.
Shout out to DJ Mike Song, DJ Frey.
The dead
Come on, flow the mad my controller who will hold you like a step tip, will work you like a flex trick. I'm crazy factor, shit, it's getting ill sick. I'm deck out the birds, nigga, it's the big nicks. Coming fat from the vats of black wax. In fact, I cramp stacks of acts upon your shelves so fans can help themselves. I prove my record sales. Move along, cause yo, there ain't no pausing. I'm causing catastrophe. I hate to be the one coming after the black dick dastardly. I heat them up even in winter. I spin the beginners. I'm eating pussies for dinner, but just remember, I ain't no downtown clown. I run the mellow ass sounds, the real shit, boy, straight from the dead ground. Five for five, want a dad or a lie. Or feeling soft with tennis with sour creams and chives. No job if I was you, I come through and catch a dose on my strict technique. Straight from Suicide Street. I work a beat like a cop. Trash a pawn shops, want the city trans, cause I'm giving it speed knots. Yeah, there ain't no frontin' on the fact. I say the daily in my habitat. Like a clean spot trap. I run the G-Fast sounds. I'm putting real shit down. So check shorty, straight from the dead ground. Your dead land kids, dirty beers for niche, or Papa Hash, digger, step.
This whole thing. Watch me crash this whole thing. Fuck. Yeah, so sickle cell. So I don't know how other people handle it. I end up turning beyond for whatever whiteness you think I am. You haven't seen. I turn whiter than this sheet of paper. Start sweating and shit, freezing and shit. I end up going in the shower, in the bathtub, but I run the shower, the hot water on me, hours and hours. This has been happening for years, and I'll fucking nod off over and over, in and out of consciousness. No, don't do this to a big bathtub. You're a little person. I got a little 4-foot bathtub. I can't slip down under the water. Okay? Don't do this. Whitney Houston dead. Okay. I must have been in there 12 hours today. I'm not even joking. My body can't pump energy, heat, nothing. Fucking dying from the inside. These pussies fucking act like they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that, but where the fuck are they? I'm sitting here dying. I don't think of them while I'm dying. I can't think straight, so I'm gonna drink this coffee and eat this into me. Oh, I slept all fucking day too. I woke up all tired. That was helpful. Now the square is now 2 rectangles. Oh, let's get rid of that. Free up some fucking. Why can't we have keyboard shortcuts for this shit? You gotta be fucking kidding me. FTP. How is it? Oh, I can't even describe the pain. I'll be fine. We go through this for years. I'll be fine. I think I sell drugs. I need drugs. I don't need money. I need fucking pain relief. Only money I do need is because when I'm hungry, I must go get food. There's no, oh, I'll go to the grocery store in the morning. Whatever it fucking costs, I'm paying. Remember, I can't eat just when I'm hungry. Black Russians,
Eastside, GSC, M3, Gully Side Veteran, Gully Side Veterans, Gully Side Veteran, Gully Side Veteran, Gully Side Veteran. Know who we better than? Club night, 10 deep, seats a knife in the Madeline, Gully Side Veteran.
The fuck is the point of this? Who the fuck are your website?
Gully Side Veteran,
You ruin the fucking
Side Veterans. They wanna lock us down for extended periods of time. You can catch my body, but never change my mind. I want my money up front. No half shit. Smoke a blunt to the end. Leave the ashes back to the store.
He's cut in and out over and over. It makes me feel like there's no fucking point.
What my young boys get you off the Lord to run upon me. Yeah, that's
I don't give a fuck. I know all the fucking words, stupid. You stupid fucking child molester. You know how they get people to hack me and shit? They hack them first. They find stuff on the computer they're not supposed to have. I mean, it's okay. You work for us, and we won't tell them about it. And then it goes from there. So I already know. Anybody fucking with my shit, I already know. You're supposed to be old fucking child molester. Oh, look at this now, man. Do it again.
And getting tested for COVID-19 isn't
Where were you yesterday,
easy. We're hearing from a woman who showed multiple
Your
symptoms
connection is
almost
unstable.
a month ago.
See me touching
But is
anything?
only now about to get checked out.
In sports, NBA teams get the green light to open up new facilities, while the Toronto Raptors will wait until Monday, 4:45.
And coming up in business, some companies will be forced to sell out due to the pandemic, according to a mergers and acquisitions specialist.
More on these stories coming up in 1 minute on All News Radio.
From the 680 News Traffic Center, I'm Michael Ranger. This report brought to you by AGMRenovations.com. Looking at some brand closures on your major routes of construction. Westbound 401, no access to Markham Road. Southbound 404 ran to the east. 401 is closed. Westbound 50 Avenue ran to the northbound 427. That is shut down.
Oh, I know, because I look like this. You don't know, because you don't look like this. They wouldn't say that to your face.
Be careful, drive according to the conditions. There is a
I know them, trust me. Oh, I know them. I know them, because they think I'm one of that.
Suite from $490 a month. Visit agmbasements.com. Your next report is at 12:41. Now let's check your forecast.
A very cold start here across the GTA to the weekend.
There's snow everywhere.
Running well off the seasonal mark, a high of 6 today. We are going to see some flurries through morning and midday and then into the afternoon. Winds gusting up to 70 kilometers per hour. We're looking at a cloudy sky until
let's go to weather, everybody.
Breaks through. Today, a high of 6.
Historic job losses in April. With nearly 2 million Canadians put out of work because of the pandemic, the unemployment spiking from 7.8% in March to 13% last month, the second highest total
real close to double.
Only trailing.
Trust me, if I put in $70 and get 130, I consider that to be close enough to double.
1982, the federal government
put in 2, get
now
3,
choosing
that's
to
all right,
extend
but put in
its
3,
emergency wage subsidy program beyond its early June endpoint. Nigel Newlett's getting reaction to the decision from the Canadian Federation of Independent Business and Canadian Chamber of Commerce.
The government hopes the wage subsidy and the Canadian Emergency Relief Benefit will keep Canadians on life support until the economy can reopen.
The wage subsidy will not be useful for a firm that to hire back employees if their business isn't open, but it will be very useful if the business is allowed to reopen. They're starting to bring back their employees that they had earlier.
The troubling job loss numbers don't come as a surprise to many, and some say there's a long road ahead.
talk often about reopening the economy or restarting
Hey,
the
you know all those
economy
people
as
that
if we're
work
a
in the
case of
so-called underground economy, you're not counting them. They don't get no 90 days whatever notice or DI or pink slip, or they just get told, hey, it's over.
In Ottawa,
It's done.
Nigel Newell,
Sorry.
City News. Women have been majorly impacted by the pandemic. The Friday
I know,
Jobs
where do you
Report
think that money
highlighting
come
the
from?
hardship it's caused for them. Prime Minister Justin
Much
Trudeau
panhandling
says
crackheads,
looking
right?
ahead,
Nope.
supports for daycare
Well,
will be
a little
needed
bit,
to help
but
women get
not
back
really.
to work.
The importance of childcare has been yet again emphasized, that as we move towards an economic restarting, there needs to be more and secure childcare spaces for people.
We
to
weren't
get
thinking of them being not secure till you just said
Canada
that,
says
man.
since
Come on.
COVID-19 forced an economic shutdown in March. Job
The one thing I
losses
wasn't
country
worried
have had
about was the
disproportionate
fucking
impact
daycares
on
being
women,
secure. Look whose kids it
and
is. And look
newcomers.
how
You're
serious it
listening
is
to All
right now.
News Radio. The Prime Minister adds nobody should have to go to work if they don't feel safe doing so.
We have put in many efforts across various industries to minimize
Oh, that
risk,
feels good.
particularly around essential work.
Oh, it feels good.
But we're going to have to be very careful to ensure that we're doing what we need to do right across the country, businesses, orders of governments, and all Canadians, to ensure the safety of the people who are working to provide for the rest of us.
They're not providing
As
for the
we
rest. Who
hear
provided
of
for me,
another
bro? You
deadly
provided
COVID
for me?
outbreak
I'll
at
see
one
your
of our
goddamn
country's
picture on
production
here.
lines. This one responsible for
I'm gonna write my
processing
phone number
dairy
in every last
products
one of these
in Vaughan,
motherfuckers.
Ontario.
This one death at Vaughan Saputo Dairy Products was a York Region resident. 23 other employees have tested positive recently, and 5 of those are also residents of York Region. York Regional Public Health was alerted to the confirmed cases on April 29th, and they conducted an on-site investigation the following
the
day.
money wash
This
you think is
location does
easy.
not
You do a
produce
couple
food
of
and it is
banging
not
them to the
open
time,
to the
not a whole
public.
stack.
The processing plant now has a reduced staff complement, as well as rigorous
It's the
cleaning procedures in
dryness
place and PPE for all staff. These 24 new cases are just the latest cases confirmed at food processing
There's no
plants throughout the
cocaine or
province,
piss or
with
shit or nothing on
Conestoga
these
Meats in
notes.
Waterloo
I know.
confirming 44 new cases on Friday. I'm James Mackin.
The first reported COVID case set in Alberta jail, the province's top doctor says the inmate was infected before they arrived at the Calgary Remand Centre. Jeff Black joins us with more.
Alberta's Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Gina Hinshaw, says correctional officers directly led the inmate to the quarantine unit once the individual
Yeah,
had
within
arrived
2
at the
days of them,
remand
didn't you?
center.
He did not report any symptoms on arrival and was quarantined with one cellmate who was admitted at the same time and who also had no symptoms.
Yeah.
The person reported feeling unwell the following evening, and both the individual and the cellmate were placed in isolation, where the person who felt ill was swabbed, later testing positive for COVID-19. Hinshaw explained that most correctional facilities quarantine new
Put me
inmates
in the
for 14
Sega.
days
I
once they
want to play
arrive.
video games with your mind. If
monitoring
you
of new
don't mind,
admissions for the
sometimes
development
I've
of
been
symptoms
puffing
before
on the
moving them on to other living units.
Meanwhile, Alberta recorded
all
one
these
additional
people
death, a
standing
woman in
up
her
in
80s
long
at a continuing
lines to
care
spend their
facility in
last
Calgary,
dollars.
and
It's
81 new
horrible.
cases. I'm Jeff Slack.
Every province is going to move at its own pace in relaxing restrictions. Nova Scotia's top doctors keeping a close eye on neighboring New Brunswick as that province gets
You get a
ready to
foot in,
enter
trouble will come
phase
to you.
2.
I'm anxious to see what the impact in New Brunswick is on them opening up. That will give us information that will be helpful to us, frankly, here in Nova Scotia, to inform some of the steps when we're ready to take
What?
Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Robert Strang, releasing Nova Scotia's plan Friday, but stressed there are no timelines. The
There's
initial
one
phase would
extra
see
millimeter
non-essential
of space.
businesses
We
open
designed this
and allow
perfectly, right?
daycares to resume, along with non-urgent healthcare services like some day surgeries and doctor visits. How soon full film production resumes in British Columbia will depend on how soon American
Who's gonna watch
workers
it? They're all
are allowed
dead.
to cross the
They
border.
don't pay for nothing
Marcelo
but basic
Bernardo's
cable in the
Vancouver talking
hospital.
with a local film industry executive about problems linked to quarantine rules.
The president of Vancouver Film Studios, Pete Mitchell, says instead of self-isolating for 2 weeks, American actors, producers, and directors who need to work in Canada may only need to wait 2 days if they get tested for COVID-19.
It's those kinds
Test
of
to give the false negatives.
border thinner.
That's why he's hoping the federal government will agree to lift some industry-related border restrictions.
If you look at the way that the federal government quickly they moved to get money out to people at work, it's unprecedented.
Mitchell adds 80% of more than
If
$3
we have a prime
billion
minister, you're
invested
just fuck,
in
we don't have a
BC
president.
every year is foreign-based. I'm Marcella Bernardo.
The city of Toronto is getting ready to reopen more non-essential retail businesses. To correspond with that, they're making sure there is enough separation on sidewalks for Torontonians
the
to
city's
choose to leave
ready
their
to open
homes.
more
Michelle
non-essential
Mackey joins
businesses.
us with more on the expansion of Curb TO.
In April, the City of Toronto launched Curb TO, an initiative to identify pedestrian hotspots to help reduce sidewalk crowding in front of essential businesses and support increased demand for pickup and delivery services. Mayor John Tory says more than 20 locations were established.
With 25 more being installed today, and staff already have plans for more than 100 hotspots.
Many of those are set to be selected from the nearly 200 requests
free
for
Wi-Fi now? I
hotspot
thought you don't want the
designations
people
received
hanging
so
out.
far from across the city. The expansion comes as the city prepares for the reopening of all retail stores with a street entrance, which can begin
free Wi-Fi to make it
pickup
easier to
and
get rid of them
delivery
too.
on Monday. I'm Michelle Mackey.
There are constant efforts being made to expand testing across the country. But unfortunately, a lot of people with symptoms are being left in COVID limbo. We're hearing from a woman who's been trying to get tested for nearly a month.
26 days. That's how long Nancy George has waited to be tested for COVID-19 in Edmonton. The system isn't working. The 61-year-old called HealthLink on April 13th, saying she had a cough, sore throat, fever,
So how are the Center League people doing with the cashless Indu card? Oh, I watched the money around the world. That's stupid.
After 10
I know how to
days, she
turn that
called
card into
HealthLink
fucking
again.
dope, you know?
And I was told that they were
Figure it out.
extremely busy and that they were way behind and that they would
You got black
definitely be
people in your money too, eh?
soon.
Oh.
Both George and City News reached out to Alberta Health
them up
Services
here,
to
the
ask
Toonies.
about why she was still waiting to be tested. After our request and our interview, HealthLink called George to arrange a test for Saturday. AHS confirmed this in a statement. They say, "We are sorry to hear about this individual's experience and thank them for voicing their concerns." From Edmonton, Cheryl Tasascu, City News.
It's 40 minutes past the hour on All News Radio. So, you're stuck inside for, well, who knows how long. Let's take stock. TV, chicken, snacks, yep, couch. You better believe it. What about a con artist, food scientist, a walrus whisperer, and one of the biggest documentary film festivals in the world? No? Well, you're in luck. Watch Hot Docs at Home on CBC. Catch world premieres and new docs every week.
No, I don't want that shit. Go away.
Hot Docs at Home on CBC.
Weird.
Thursdays
Everything.
at 8 on CBC and CBC Gym.
At Intact Insurance, we're committed to helping people when they need us the most. And today's no different. Crisis. So far, these efforts have helped over 350,000 Canadians and businesses. If you're experiencing financial hardship, or if your driving habits have changed, we can help. To learn more about our ongoing relief measures, visit intact.ca or contact your broker.
News is always changing. Now more than ever. Listen 3, 4, 5.
Oh yeah, my house is small. I can reach the whole fucking thing from right here though. What's it like having that big house all empty? You pay so much for it. Oh, you could have thousands of people over, but you don't trust nobody. Yeah, that's really useful. Oh, you can't walk the street because of this reason. That reason. Either to the street. 3. I don't believe you. I think that's like I think that's written.
The streets like a soap opera, so much drama, so much bullshit going around that you get caught up. Set up and walk all the till the pop and get your ass up and do so, then rap and fuck up. Get the living every day, if you don't struggle, don't tell them make trouble. We take what we want, we'll leave in your rap and drop the numbers in the nearest place. But we, my homies, turn truth on the cell phone, got to work, don't sleep till it's all hard, stack paper, don't spend cent. We up and do the same shit again, feels like my life, so we beat, eat shit, 13, only 3 things that concerns me. Keep on looking news from the daily cuts, trying to go hard and gossip from the side, no, yeah, keep going to the street. Keep going to the street. Keep going to the street, you never know. Get it cool, that's the old school rules. Keep going to the street. Keep going to the street. I'm always on the go. Like I just know, I'm real dope. Only thing I'm is the Cuba show. Music was my my main thing, now it's my side hustle. Life is not a miracle. I get money while I talk bitches. Get head while I count bitches. All of a sudden I'm famous, like what is this? 2 months ago, I was still the same. They knew my name.
Oh yeah, throw the money on the floor in the recording studio.
I got mine.
Oh my god. Oh, why when I curse about sickle cell and B19 and all these things that this guy, I'm not fucking crazy. That's Mother Nature. Mother Nature, science, biology, Father Time, the universe decided I'm obsolete. Yeah, well, fuck you. All these pussy holes trying to tell me they're better than me and they're gonna take this and do this. Okay, fine, do it then. But you ain't the universe. You didn't make me less able to survive. So you better be coming hard. You think you're gonna take something from me, man? Oh, even the lowly bat got its revenge, didn't it? Oh, you don't want to help the honeybees? But when those hornets run out of fucking bees to eat, what you think they're gonna come after? Oh, you don't give a fuck about nothing, eh? Yeah, me either. Oh, this is
M3. Gully side veteran. Gully side veterans.
These are some of my
Gully
friends
side
here.
veteran. Gully side veteran. Side veteran, Gully side veteran, M3 GS, the side veteran. So when I lock it down for extended periods of time, you can catch my body, but never catch my mind. I want my money up front, no half shit. Smoke a blunt to the end, leave the ashes back to the store. Cup of Henny, need a backwoods, crack a 40. Let's drink and slow it up, hit the block, slow it. So run up on me, yeah, that's more full combat and all that. Then you fall back out here with some real niggas.
I got
Call it
people that
blood
have
hunt,
big
you
you
can get killed,
senseless if you
nigga.
say the wrong word on this chat. On this chat. I tell them it's okay, don't worry. Is that a friend? I don't know.
For high stakes and stick it up. Head home, fat pocket steak, getting cooking up. Gully side veteran, niggas know who we better than. Club night,
people that know things you can say clean. They don't talk about them things.
Gully
Is that
side
friends? I
veteran,
don't know.
M3 GS, them gully side veterans. Gully side veteran, niggas know who we better than. Club night, 10 deep, stick the knife in the Netherlands. Gully side veteran, east side nigga, we the gully side veteran. I still bombing this bitch, blow shit up like landmines. I'm on the page, niggas for holding the wrong gang sign. Regular shit turn ugly. Paid man in this bitch, who's your family name if you touch me? Dead weight, never. We pull weight like huskies. Rappers, they rap into this and that. Say they live the trap life and whole clip for the cat. But it's shot for shot. Tip, my nigga, tip for the tap. Robbing for his chain. There ain't no giving it back. They say I calm down, like why didn't he snap? But didn't he snap? I roll up punches and dash. Fuck that. Pump, take your punch and hug that. Tired of niggas talking about drugs and gun raps. They get a pass if they really they thought that. They lie about the pens, but they walk with a bump. And I see a bit more if a nigga didn't cut class. I done got rushed, but my niggas on rush back. Phone call from banks like nigga, we crushed that.
Done got rushed, but my niggas are rushed back. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what friends are.
Gully side veteran, M3
Connected
GS,
like
them
half
gully
a
side
dozen other
veterans.
fucking worst games the cops can't give me. What's a friend? I don't know.
We still selling that white power, we call it Harriets. I'm like a surrogate when I carry in a straight wise MDG. I'm in a strategy, playing good Samaritan, listening to parenting, winning respect, nobody fucking American. Tell like a what, my niggas is never hearing him. Nope, throwing up signs like a deaf guy, making crash your truck like left eye. Niggas had their chance, well maybe next time. Next time you get that stretch, I didn't get time. I was locked up doing dead time. Now I'm free as a bird, it's like a jet flying. You need medication, but I got medicine. Yeah, this shit hit like an earthquake when it level him. Yeah, listen real bad boy, what's the Eglinton? That's speculate. One time again, I'm a
I'll just tell you, all these niggas here wearing crosses that wanted them a Christian.
Yes, them gully side veterans.
Oh shit! Now I gotta stop that because I don't know what comes up next. Oh, maybe I'll just leave it. Okay. Here's the part 2 to that. Oh. How about this? Some more niggas wrong with kill you fuckers fucking looking at me funny. Don't look at them funny either, right? Oh, I do up my hair. You don't even see me. I'm just the yuppie. I'm graphic design. What's up with that fire, boy? Mitchell. David Mitchell.
Gucci ski mask,
Bullshit on the age. 41. David Mitchell. Do you mind if I come in for a minute to discuss the proposal? The firm sentence. We're on board a crazy gang of bangers and drug slammers.
Squirrel one, it looks like a drag race. So the feds don't trade. Niggas want my head, so I gotta keep the aim. Cracking carjackings,
yeah, that's my team.
I get a big check, yeah, from the
Don't be jacking in our hood. Cause it's not all good. You'll go from the hoods to the woods and be nothing but a bunch of missing hoods.
I love this cash money. I get a lot of money. Yeah, she all about me. Yeah, she call me Poppy. My life is so lovely. My ops shit gets sticky. I have to keep that
chick. My fucking building with a video shot.
With a tinny Vicky. She gets a lot of money. I'm talking telly money. I'm talking telly money. I'm talking telly money.
Fuck being a part of it, you fucking started it. There's an art to it.
Gucci ski mask, can't see my face.
With the money, it is kind of funny. With the 10 grand in your hand, but your clothes are bummy. Why you fucking run from me?
Gucci ski mask, Gucci mask, Gucci ski mask, can't see my face. They was second mad, I just want first place. My kids in their mouth and she loves her kids. September 14th, I'm finna be my kids. Your girl want me,
May 25th and 26th. If I don't show up, well, they don't convict me. I'm never gonna get fucking healthcare again.
Yeah, we not really with the plan, like I'm no PlayStation. You hating, I'm not with the games. Niggas love to show the face, what? Show the face, son. Niggas want their face, son.
Bad girlfriend. I'm sorry I almost poisoned you with those drugs, but I'll give you a free x-ray. Can I just get a blood test? Maybe.
Gucci ski mask, can't see my face. Gucci ski mask, can't see my face. Gucci ski mask, can't see my face. Gucci ski mask. Gucci ski.
Cool. How come it's running perfect now and earlier we kept getting fucked with? Yeah, I know my shit's getting fucked with. Hacking is not a new big... Oh, you're a hacker? That's crazy. Never heard of that.
Yo, fuck these calls. What they think we gonna do? Watch your back. Mathematics, trigonometry, politics.
Oh, shit.
With over 36,000, followed by Ontario, which is approaching 20,000. Alberta reporting over 6,000 cases. British Columbia, over 2,300. Nova Scotia, over 1,000. Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland has a message for children across the country as Mother's Day approaches in a time of physical distancing. Freeland's urging kids to reach out to their mothers, literally, and lend a helping hand.
I would really like to say, if you can, give your mother a hug, give her a kiss. If you can, maybe help clean up the house a little bit. I know it's hard for you, but it is really also a hard time for parents.
A mom herself, Freeland was quick to say she also had a personal interest in delivering this message. Just the day after a White House staffer tested positive for COVID-19, there is another high-profile infection in D.C. Veronica Thor reports the person works very closely with U.S. President Trump's daughter.
A source told CNN Ivanka Trump's personal assistant has tested positive for COVID-19. The assistant has reportedly not been around the president's daughter in several weeks and instead has been teleworking for nearly 2 months. The source adds that she was not symptomatic, but was tested out of caution. Meantime, Ivanka and her husband Jared Kushner both reportedly tested negative for the virus on Friday. This all comes after one of President Donald Valets tested positive for COVID-19 on Thursday. Trump also confirming on Friday that Vice President Mike Pence's press secretary Katie Miller also tested positive. I'm Veronica Thor.
It's an election year in the United States, but how Americans will get out and vote is up in the air. If they're allowed to even get out at all. Now, California is changing up how voters can cast their ballots come November.
In a controversial move that President Trump has opposed nationally, here in California, Governor Gavin Newsom signing an executive order to send mail-in ballots to every registered voter in the state, allowing them to vote by mail because of COVID-19.
You can allowing yourself in a safe way, I don't know how much you are, but that's sure your health is protected.
Newsom saying physical polling places will be available as well in California this November for those who don't want to mail in. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The business report's coming up in 1 minute on All News Radio.
Take this opportunity to help our most vulnerable. Long-term care homes in Ontario are hiring, and they're looking for people with skills just like yours. You can put your nursing, cooking, or cleaning experience to work. This is an important and rewarding chance to make a real difference during a time of need. Together, we can stop the spread of COVID-19. Learn more of the job opportunities available at long-term care homes by visiting ontario.ca/workltc. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Found a car today, a much better way. Visit OntarioCars.ca.
Listen to me, my friend, and I'll offer a little advice. Down at the city, looking for a used or new car when you can easily visit OntarioCars.ca and find a large selection to choose from. Couldn't be simpler. No clutter, just cars. There's all-in pricing from our trusted sellers too, and all purchases are protected by a compensation fund. Find your gem at OntarioCars.ca.
What you need to know.
The latest breaking news, traffic, and weather.
Turn to 680 News.
Toronto.
Unlike Apple, small business operators are facing unprecedented challenges, and until the economy restarts, just keeping the cash flowing is the main goal. There have been several support programs announced by the federal government, along with measures provided by financial institutions. Jason Teal is the VP of Business Banking at Meridian Credit Union.
That's been happening at least 10 years.
Program has had a lot of press to BDC and EDC, BCAP, Canadian wage subsidy, and commercial rent assistance as an example of
State program, commercial rent assistance program, the Canadian emergency crap.
Who have provided assistance as well in the form of payment relief where applicable or needed. And also we recommend assessing what variable costs can be scaled back and to what degree, as well as extended payment terms with suppliers as two examples.
Teal says small businesses should rely on advice from their financial support system.
Whether that's your bank or your financial advisor, your accountant, really to help navigate through all these options to assist your business during COVID-19, as well as position it for growth.
No change down there? Nothing.
We really look at this as a few stages. So there's the immediate stage to kind of work through, but also position yourself with you and your lender, for example.
So it's a government-issued cigarette case because you put the 420 in.
And because time may now actually be available instead of the daily work
expect you to fully run out before they give you the next pack. So you will be putting one in your mouth. It's your fault for putting the thing in and putting a whole cigarette. It's my fault. It's a whole cigarette. You understand? Canadian government issue.
But
there's a stupid white girl in the front.
Reflection of pace of growth, where you want to invest your resources. Not to mention the way the market's changing as well is something that you need to consider as far as
less money, they want to buy stuff. They have less money, they still need to buy stuff.
Business banking at Meridian Credit
You sell it to them, you get the money. You buy stuff with that money, and you sell them stuff.
How good they're feeling.
That was the purpose of the money. It's not me doing something strange. The world been running this way like thousands of years. The only thing changed was money.
This is radio.
Well, sort of. I took communist Soviet money as money last week in the 70s. Money to me.
Hey, dude,
You can't have it.
killing the vibe. With free parcel delivery, curbside pickup, and
don't even
DIY
exist.
project videos, find everything you need for backyard projects at Rona.ca. Do more at home.
That's all we get.
Conditions apply.
Hey everybody, Dina Felietta here with an exciting announcement. Breakfast Television is teaming up with America's Got Talent to bring you the Canadian Family's Got Talent contest. We're looking for Canadians to show us their amazing talents. Your video will be judged by Simon Cowell. Have fun, be creative. Upload your videos to breakfasttelevision.ca. Enter Canadian Family's Got Talent presented by Canadian Tire. Watch Breakfast Television for more details. Contest closes May 14th.
680 News is CFTRAM.
Toronto.
I'm half expecting this car to go. Just saying.
Across the country,
It's actually
in
a
Calgary,
question.
we're expecting a partly
Just
cloudy sky, high of 11 degrees, partly cloudy and 12 in Edmonton.
Normally, it
Vancouver,
should
partly
roll it off.
cloudy, a daytime high of 25. Toronto, cloudy and 6. Ottawa, cloudy and 6. Halifax, cloudy, 8 degrees.
Number 1 for breaking news. This is All News Radio.
I'm Jared Launchbury. And I'm Josh Ritchie. Here's what's making news right now. Reaction to a jobs report for the record books. Another nearly 2 million Canadians
Going back to the
April. The federal
30s.
government now extending how
Good to
long
see
it will
you.
provide financial aid. Another outbreak at one of our country's production lines. One person has been killed and nearly 2 dozen are infected at a plant in Vaughan, Ontario. We're speaking with the family of
Oh,
a
yeah,
personal
shit's getting
support
worse.
worker.
It's not,
ultimately killed
someone
for
tested
doing their
positive.
job.
It's,
They believe his
someone
death is
died
totally
and 100
preventable.
people
The
tested
pandemic
positive.
has had a terrible toll on our country's public transit systems. Toronto is scaling back services big
Keep
time.
those
Starting
fucking
this
buses
weekend,
running.
Vancouver has come up with a way to keep workers from being axed.
In sports, the NHL
I
has
don't need
decided to
them. Other
postpone
people
all
do.
internationally scheduled
Therefore, I
events
do.
for the 2020 season, Sport 15.
And coming up in business, what to do when the doors are closed. We're
When those
looking at how
buses
your
stop
company can
running,
weather
Mr.
the
Tory, you
pandemic
can say
shutdown,
goodbye
how
to
to
civil
access government
behavior.
programs, and why it might be a good time to review your business plan.
More on these stories coming up in 1 minute on All News Radio.
These vultures are there, predators.
From the 680 News Traffic Center, I'm Michael Ranger. We've got a collision on the eastbound 401. It's in the express lanes east of Avenue Road that completely blocked off the express. So traffic is getting caught behind this roadblock. To avoid it, if you're traveling eastbound on the 401, you need to use the transfer at Allen Road into the collectors. That'll be your last chance. Otherwise, you will get caught behind this.
You will get caught.
Again,
I ain't get caught for shit. Fuck off. Say that again. How do I not get caught?
They are moving fine past this accident. We've got another crash on the westbound 401 ramp to the northbound 410. Ramp was completely blocked. They've opened the lane now. They are letting traffic through. Next report is at 111. Now let's check your forecast.
Oh yeah, you're on the wheel. Hundreds of cars going by one at a time, real slow.
Running well off the seasonal mark, a high of 6 today. We are going to see some flurries through morning and midday,
nothing
and
but a
then into
speed
the
bump for these
afternoon.
people.
Winds gusting up to 70 kilometers per hour. We're looking at a cloudy sky until the late afternoon with some sunshine.
Timberlake.
Today, a high of 6.
JT.
The Friday jobs report was stunning, but expected. Nearly 2 million jobs were lost in April alone because of COVID-19. Nigel Newlove is in Ottawa getting reaction from the Canadian Federation of Independent Business and Canadian Chamber of Commerce.
This is staggering to see the number of positions.
Staggering. You never seen a bad day like that.
Unemployment rate skyrocketed from 7.8% in
People don't know how
March
to be
to
broke.
13%
Old
in
people
April.
know how to be broke.
Only second to numbers from 1982 when the unemployment rate hit 13.1%.
I think old people
Despite the bleak
fucking,
numbers,
they figure
many
the flowers on
economists
sale
have
10
predicted
cents
up to
off. They buy 50 of the things and put it in the bag. Why? Because they know one day they might not have money, but they'll be able to eat.
Canadian businesses. We will be extending
What if you get your hands on tea and no fucking sugar? Oh,
beyond
that's
June.
yes,
The extension is being welcomed with open arms by industry leaders.
Canada, you gotta
Many
fucking do half
employers
the work
were
yourself.
beginning to panic, recognizing that their businesses weren't even open yet, and the wage subsidy was set to expire.
Sir, this
The government hopes
oatmeal's
the
great.
wage
We got no way to cook
subsidy and
it.
the Canadian
The
emergency
Lord
wage
helps those who help
benefit will
themselves.
keep
I'm
Canadians
out.
on life support until the economy can reopen. In Ottawa, Nigel Newlove.
Cut down a tree to burn for firewood. The feds are on you. You got your oatmeal. What are you doing cutting down trees? Oh, we got arrested.
Supplement that
Oh,
hits
we got to shoot
many,
your dog,
many
too.
vulnerable seniors, whether it's through new programs that are supporting seniors in vulnerable situations. And like I said, we'll have more to say very soon.
Justin, math is easy. Give the seniors an extra $1,000 a month.
Built us this extraordinary country and to whom we owe so much thanks.
Prime
You got
Minister Trudeau also
overlapping
says his
fucking
government's turning
programs.
its thoughts toward providing daycare
So not every
assistance to
senior
women
don't get the same
who have
amount. They
been
don't even know what they're
largely
supposed to
affected by
get.
job losses,
They're
so they can
terrified.
return to the workforce. Production lines
It's
that
off the
play
wrong
a
person.
critical
Your check
role in
comes in
keeping our
late. They
grocery
don't know.
stores stocks
They
continue to
see
be
so
hard
much
hit by
bad shit
spread of the
happen in this
disease.
country.
And we're hearing of another deadly outbreak
Well,
at
that
a
can't happen
facility
in
in our
this country. They'll
James
fucking tell
Maggie
you what they
reports
see.
one person has been killed and 23 more have been infected at the Saputo Foods Incorporated dairy processing plant in Vaughan, Ontario. York Regional Public Health was notified of the cases just over a week and a half ago on April 29th.
They're either one big
following
company
day,
or the two
York
biggest
Regional
companies
Public
or
Health
some
conducted
shit.
an
I'm not
on-site
doing too well
inspection.
at the moment.
6 of the employees, including the one who has passed away, are confirmed to be residents of York Region, but the other 18 cases' residency is currently unknown. Several food processing plants employees throughout the province are testing positive.
See why I
with
buy
44
everything
new
cans?
cases at Conestoga Meats in
Crazy,
Waterford. Ontario is nearly at
Still, who doesn't-
20,000 cases.
What's
and a
the end of my
majority of those have
conversation? I can't
recovered.
help it. I'm so
I'm
adult.
James
It's
Mackey.
my fucking corner. I'm gonna pay
You're
attention
listening
to
to All
everything.
News Radio.
I'm not gonna tell everybody what you said. When you say something weird about
support
looking for
workers
somebody
killed
to
by
rob
COVID-19
them.
in the greater Toronto area.
Listen, radar.
Speaking with the family of the victim,
Who
says
doesn't
their
prefer
father's
fresh
death was
food? I
preventable.
couldn't help myself. Me.
The 61-year-old who has 3 children
On the
worked
way
with
this girl heard
Access
about me.
Independent Living
Everything she heard
Services
about
on
me was the
Eglinton
opposite of
Avenue
what's
West.
true.
According to his wife Dorothy, Leo was in a constant battle to get personal protective equipment for himself and colleagues.
He's not bad enough to go look after the clients, so I just walked to the dollar store, I bought some, and this is how he.
Get the bandanas, and I'll tell you why. You see how I
Leonard
fold
was
it?
sent home
2
on April
layers.
6th after possibly being exposed and died exactly
All the masks you're
1
buying are
month
one
later.
thin layer. Are
On
they
Monday,
getting
the family
special,
says
thicker
they
material?
drove Leo
No.
to the hospital,
Cost more.
but were shocked hours later when he was sent home.
2 days before he died.
City News reached out to Humber River Hospital.
stop
who said they
mustard
were
gas
saddened
with one
to
of
learn
these
about
and
Leonard's
piss.
death. In a statement, they also said,
I won't
quote,
tell nobody
standard
you pissed
hospital
on your
policy
handkerchief.
includes
It's true.
clinical assessments for safe discharge and instructions to return
I'm
to
not
the
from
emergency
Dutch. We pay
department for
attention.
any
Gas,
reason.
chemical weapons. That shit's real.
Sunset
Oh, it's
reported in
illegal.
Toronto,
Go to Syria right now. It's illegal. It's
Rodriguez
illegal.
is the 4th
You're dead.
PSW to die of
I
COVID-19
don't know how
in
to
the
stop all
region.
those guys.
The greater Montreal area has
Got
the most
one down.
COVID-19 cases in the
Smoke.
country,
It's
with more
wet.
than
It'll stop.
18,000
It'll cut
reported and
smoke.
over
It won't stop
1,700
it all,
killed.
but it'll help.
Sharon Reynolds reports now Quebec Public Health is undertaking a massive screening campaign to get a better understanding of just how bad it is there.
To reach the target of 14,000 tests on a daily basis.
The province is
I
also
know why I keep
expecting to
counting
hire
it. It's not
hundreds
the
of
amount of
people
money
to
I'm trying to
conduct
figure out. It's how many
investigations and
banknotes will fit in
tracings
this
of
container I'm trying to
COVID-19
figure out.
cases.
The first step in this process relies on the cooperation by the population.
The death rate per million for the greater Montreal region is 4 times that of Toronto and more than 10 times Vancouver's. The city's public health director said the massive screening operation will specifically focus on areas such as Montreal North and Saint Michel, where the case rates are approaching, and in the case of Montreal North, exceeding some New York City levels.
We're going in neighborhoods where we know that we have specific barriers to access to testing that can be language, community.
My lungs don't hurt now. It's just where the fucking junkie pushed me into the counter. Oh yeah, nothing.
In
Yeah,
Montreal,
fuck it.
Sharon
This is the
Reynolds,
ribs.
City News.
Bastard. I got no meat, no
The federal
muscle.
government is ready to help out with public
What? You
transit
lift your arm
systems
up. Now you're
as
open
more
here.
workers are laid off because of reduced demand.
People are going to need to be able to get to and from work as we want to get the economy going again. But the federal government is always looking to be a partner in helping out in terms of economic
Move things along, double
wherever
it.
we can.
Don't buy one,
However,
buy
Prime
two.
Minister
Don't sell
Trudeau
one,
says
sell
it will
two.
be up
2
to
at
the
a time.
provinces
Everything.
to prop up municipal transit systems. The Toronto Transit Commission will be scaling back service starting
$20
this
off the
weekend,
ounce,
and there's
buy 2 of
growing
them,
concern for
motherfucker.
the potential of overcrowding on some routes again. Mark Douglas joins us with a call for mandatory face masks for using public transit in Toronto.
Should every single TTC passenger be required to wear a mask before they get on a vehicle? The Transit Workers
Everybody
Union
wear the
says
mask.
yes.
Everybody
President
wear the
of
mask. I can
ATU
afford
Local
one copy
113,
straight.
Carlos Santos.
I would like to see them wear a mask on every vehicle.
No,
Not
boy.
just buses, on every vehicle. And that's for the safety of our passengers as well.
He says it will be especially important to have that extra protection from COVID-19 now that retail shopping is starting to open up and more people will be riding transit more often. But Mayor John Tory and the city's top doctor, Dr. Eileen Davila, seem to agree ridership is still
Sony,
so
they
low,
sign the
there's
artists,
no
they sell
need
the
for
blank
rest
tapes, they
for
sell the
now.
pre-recorded
The current
tapes, they sell the
situation, as we
stereos,
see
they
it
sell
on
the
the
CD
TTC,
drives,
is
the
that
CDs,
physical
the burners,
distancing
the CD
can be
players,
maintained
the
under the
speakers,
current
the
conditions.
amplifiers.
But
You want to
of course,
pirate
this is
music?
something that always needs to
You don't want
be
to buy this one?
reviewed.
Okay, we'll sell you the drive and the discs.
Public transit throughout Metro Vancouver's being saved from the chopping
Well, you don't want to
block.
burn nothing. You just want to listen on the internet legally?
New
Here,
interim
buy a cell phone.
funding
Sony
agreement
Ericsson.
has been reached between the province and TransLink.
Sony's on top
Final
of
details of the agreement
marketing.
are still being worked out.
You know, your Sony's saying, oh, they stole from us. Let's go to court. Let's do this. Let's do that.
They've been given now allow them to show
Well, I'm sure they do it. They're a fucking record label and things,
We'll
right? But
also
you know, it's not
rehire
like
1,500
this
drivers and
fucking
other employees
levy
who
or
already
blank
been given
media
pay
in
slips.
Canada.
This agreement definitely does buy us some time, allows
Yeah,
us
Sony
to
sells the blank
to implement
CDs.
viable
You pay
transit
11.
service,
Sony collects a
during
portion of
this
11.
recovery phase.
TransLink has been
Because
struggling
they're a
with
record
losses of
label
around
too.
$75 million a month and have been preparing to cut over
Monopoly
40 routes as of May 18th.
money.
A return to bus fare collection, though, still going ahead as of June 1st. I'm Paul James.
An old school entertainment staple is making a comeback in the physical distancing era, according to
I'm
Terrio
not sure if
reports
that's a
from
derogatory statement, but they put her on the 10 because they knew we would see it.
Whilst pouring in for his outdoor
Who's going to
entertainment
tell us? Not
company
10 so much.
to
20
set
is
up
enough.
drive-in theaters.
Stay in their vehicle, drive home, and come in contact with nobody.
Fashnik has fielded calls for weddings and even graduations.
You create a slide, like a 2-hour video presentation, and you highlight each student.
But the drive-in boom comes as some business has been driven out.
I'm actually down about 70 to 80% revenue right now because we don't just do drive-ins; we do a lot of open air events.
What business are you in again? I was
business. All that
listening.
got wiped off the table. Almost
You were
getting
perched my ears
canceled.
up, said if you're down 70, 80%.
Could host more than
It's not good,
10,000
but
sets
you
of
have
eyeballs.
revenue,
The
right?
drive-in would be a bit more exclusive.
I think the biggest events we've done would
You get
be
your hands on cash. That's the
500
first
to
fucking
600
thing.
cars would be the biggest ones that we've done.
In Edmonton, Courtney Terrio, City News.
It's 10
Drive
minutes
in,
past
so he
the
already owns
hour
the
on
property,
News Radio.
has access to it anyway.
The safety of those around you is more important than ever. The government of Canada has stated that the use of a
Essentially
non-medical
a parking
mask
lot
or
with an
facial
FM
covering
transmitter and a
can be
screen.
an additional measure you can take to protect others around you.
So you can turn it into a parking lot at any time. And after that, you can sell it as development. He's not out yet. He's still got 20% of his revenue.
And face shields at reasonable prices. Proudly made in Canada.
Are you getting out of your car to pay with a credit card? No, here's cash.
And face shields now
You put it in the bucket. That's what they're doing now.
In uncertain times, it's been famously said, look for the helpers.
When you think drug dealers take the money with one hand and hand you the drugs with the other, always the same two hands.
Seniors
Notice that?
have so much wisdom and experience to share. More than anyone
One guy's
else.
told me for fucking
They
ever.
can
I had
put these days into
for
perspective.
years. I kept getting confused. I'm trying to hand him the money
So look
first.
for the
He's throwing
seniors
weed
in
at
your
me. I'm
life.
trying to hand him
Give them
money.
a reassuring call. And don't be surprised if they end up
Catch the
reassuring
weed
you.
first and then hand him the money.
A
'Cause He
message from
does
Amica
both
Senior
with the
Lifestyles.
same hand, but he doesn't wrap it up with the same hand.
Every day, we're giving you
Actually, no, he doesn't. I can't even. He fucking confuses me. That's what he's doing. He makes sure I can't tell. Hustlers. That
This is
kid's
the traffic center. I'm Michael Ranger. A couple of significant collisions on the roads right now. Eastbound 401 in the express east of Avenue Road. Collision there has all express lanes blocked. So traffic is getting stuck behind this. In
this
order
is
to
close,
avoid that, you'll want to get into the collectors. Your last opportunity to do so is using the transfer at Allen Road from the express to the collectors. Again, if you continue in the express beyond Allen, you will get caught behind this roadblock where they blocked off all express lanes because of this collision. Other collision westbound 401 ramp to the northbound.
Are they
410.
using the blocker trucks,
They are
brethren?
letting traffic
They're the
through
same,
that
bro.
ramp
You're
now,
a
but there is some
cadet. You're to
delays.
the
Next
ground.
traffic
Leave
report is
it
at
up, dog.
121. Now let's check your forecast.
A cold start to the weekend and some morning flurries. How's that for May? Looks like daytime highs today near 6 degrees. Winds out of the northwest this afternoon,
Over
gusting
November,
to 70
December,
kilometers
January,
per
March,
hour.
April,
As we
May.
head overnight, another night.
8 fucking months of winter. Hey, that's illegal, eh? You can't go past 6.
10 degrees. Today it's 6 in the forecast.
Mother's Day, it's coming up on Sunday. Richard Southern's in
fuck
Toronto,
off.
going right to the source to find out what moms want this year.
This year are expected to spend $492 million on Mother's
because
Day gifts.
She
But is that
deserves it
really what the
because I have
9.4
plans.
million moms in Canada want? I asked my mom what she wants this Sunday. I would like you to come and visit me, but we're quarantined, so I can't have that right now.
Can't you just listen to him on the radio every day? I bet she's on there. Everything he knows, he can't say the wrong things. Probably listen.
The only lots of moms wouldn't be able to get together, so what have you been doing in quarantine?
God.
Well, mostly I've been listening to 680 News and watching City TV, my favorite. And Mom, who's your favorite on those two stations? Okay, I have to be honest. I love James Monroe. I love that voice, and it makes me laugh all the time. He's funny. He should have his own talk show. Ouch. Cuts like a knife. Richard Southern, 680 News.
This is All News Radio.
The latest traffic and weather is always every 10 minutes on the ones.
This is 680 News.
Lowe's would like
That
to
is
raise
the one downside. Genetically, when I'm in pain, I make noises involuntarily. There's no running away to the bush to hide. Once I'm injured, you're gonna fry my ass. You can't believe that. Let me go. Oh, shit. That was the most confusing. Oh, what the hell? It wasn't a jack move. It was an insure moment. That's what it was. Hey, insure, did you know your shit sets junkies up? Hey, they're all them vitamins and things. They get superpowers, eh? I knew to watch out for the tasers. If they taser somebody, watch out. You can jump up and run. These junkies, and be careful. They give them insure because they know they don't eat. It's harm reduction. They're trying to turn them back to people, right?
Every week without ever leaving the couch. Hot dogs at home on CBC. Thursday
now, but look around, look from his point of view. He initiated the fisticuffs.
I'm Jared Launchbury. Here's what's making news right now. Some 4 million.
It's like a dog or animal. He got caught and fucking flipped out and ran away. Okay, so he's not gonna want to come back. You don't know who the fuck I am, as far as I know.
Our unemployment rate is now 13%, just shy of the highest in the history of our country.
The guard here don't know who the fuck he is. He's been here for fucking years. He's not some regular drug user, customer friend of ours. It's our fault. No.
The Prime Minister reiterated that no Canadians should feel they have to go to work if they don't feel safe. This, as we hear of a dairy production plant in Vaughan, Ontario, now dealing with an outbreak. Almost 24 are infected, and one employee.
Can we make Toronto officially include Vaughan, Richmond Hill, Markham, Thornhill? Actually, yeah, let's stop there because I don't like Brampton versus Saga. I don't want to be part of the same city. They're okay people. I don't want to have to see them at the council meeting.
I'm G. Rana from Sportsnet. The NHL announced
the council meetings every week. We have to swear on a maple leaf in a case of fucking Molson.
The Bruins and Predators were penciled in to open up their season from the Czech Republic. Both
with
clubs
French
also
and
plan to
English.
complete their training camps in Germany and Switzerland.
Yeah, even the
later in
Anglophones,
season,
they know how to do the oath in
We're
French.
scheduled for a pair of regular season matchups in Helsinki, Finland. The League and Players Association did say they plan on being back in 2021. As for when action might resume for this season, the league is still under phase 1, which involves social distancing and self-quarantine. The next step would be to allow training facilities to open up. But according to NHL insider Chris Johnston, there are still some hurdles in place.
I think it's really there's very few jurisdictions.
Bro, these words have meanings, eh? Like you just throw words around these days.
I've spoken with teams that have been having that discussion, with their local governments, and then they just don't feel like they're going to be able to do it. And then, the biggest issue right now, I think, in addition to rules and regulations, is the testing issue.
As for the testing, it might be a factor in the league reportedly heading right into the postseason.
All the issues, I would say, I have with my skin.
I think that one of the reasons you're going to see no regular season is that I think the league
spent like 10 hours in the shower. My skin's not fucked up. I think it would be, right?
Making the playoffs that wanted no part of this. Like, if it's going to cost you, if you have to get how many thousands of tests and you can knock out 7 teams, why not do it?
Friedman also guessed a possible postseason may happen in
anyone
August or
wants this, so
September.
there's an event making all these videos. You go back over the last few fucking days of videos.
4 players to be in the building,
but
the Toronto Raptors will instead look to Monday
at
opening
put 2 and 2 together as to all the crap I did and how wore out I got from it. And when I fucking finally collapsed.
Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
No, it's fucked up for me. So I try to go to sleep, but when I wake up, I'm all fucked up.
The province's premier now calling on young people in La Loche to take physical distancing seriously, with 179 of Saskatchewan's 544 cases in the remote village.
I'm very fortunate. I always wake up before I eat.
In this nation in
One of my friends died in a fucking hotel because he fucking puked.
When it comes to the seriousness of how this disease operates, it is discriminatory.
Scott Lowe says it's mostly young people who are getting infected and they need to protect their elders. The outbreak in La Loche, where fewer than 3,000 people live, is one of the worst in the country per capita.
There's a lot of poetic justice shit going on here with
price
this
gouging
disease,
on goods like masks and hand sanitizer.
Give a fuck about the
Some are
animals?
ignoring them
Oh.
and continue to practice that business.
Give a fuck about
The
the animals?
Calgary-based CCA Logistics is now
The
facing
animals
charges
get sick,
accused of charging $120
So what
for
happens
3
when animals in the wild? The sick
which
ones
is a
die off. Something
400%
eats them and
markup.
survives off it.
It's the first price gouging charge to be laid in Alberta. Premier Jason Kenney says
They got price gouging charges in Alberta. Hey, buddy, $1.33 a liter. Hey, what the fuck? That's about $1.60 in BC, right? Oh, that's outside Alberta. That's outside our purview. We sell there, but we don't regulate there. But why would you sell it without regulating?
The owner of CCA Logistics denies the allegations and says he's competing globally for supplies and paying outrageously high prices at the wholesale level
Take
just to bring
screenshots,
the
stupid.
equipment in. The Ontario
No, we gotta
government's
turn
in
it into
discussions
fucking
with
politics.
healthcare worker unions about the use of N95 masks in long-term care homes. The unions say the government's
Hey, you know
trying
what
to
happened
water
in the
down
last 2
directives
months?
to give workers access to the masks that protect
Price
against
of
the
weed
spread
went
of
down,
COVID.
eh?
But Health Minister Christine Elliott says there's limited capacity.
We are
Well, when
in
the economy's
consultation
good, these
with
guys have to pay to
the,
get around and do
employee
all sorts of things.
organizations. We had
Okay, well, the
conversations
economy
with
just
them
shut down. There's
yesterday.
all sorts of shit they're
They
not doing.
certainly
And
understand
they know
that
everybody's
there
got less
are
money.
limits
You know, it's
to
not
the
us
number
fucking
of
them around with
N95 masks we're able
all
to
of us all of a
procure
sudden got
right now
gambling habits and
because
crack
there is
habits.
a global interest in acquiring them.
Keep the assembly line moving. Move more weight with less margin on it. And make the same amount of money for the same time of work. You can't
and
equate
they
that.
must be made
You got
available.
these 3D
It's 20
spreadsheets
minutes
with
past the hour on All
time,
News Radio.
temporal fucking metrics and shit, but you don't understand this?
This is 680 News Toronto.
What is price gouging laws?
Make our city
There's a
great.
Canadian
That's
weed
why
dealer.
680 News has partnered with Scotiabank in Operation Support Local.
Hi, it's Sarah Parrott. By supporting local, you can help keep the places you love open. From shopping online, signing up for online classes, or even ordering
No, I'm not
takeout,
standing
it all
up.
starts with you.
To submit or find a
It all
local
starts with
business
me,
to
eh?
support, visit 680news.com.
I'm not even listening to what you're asking me to do.
Operation Support Local.
In partnership with our friends, Scotiabank. We're in this together.
Today's showstopper at TSC is the KitchenAid Ultra Power Plus Tilt Head Stand
It's
Mixer.
been a little fucking
With 10
nightmare.
speeds, you can easily mix, knead, and whip ingredients in its large 4.5-quart stainless steel bowl to make family favorites like home-baked breads and cookies and decadent
I don't have change for 20. What are you selling weed on the corner, bro? You've been open all fucking day and night. There's a bank right there. You know that. There's 4 people in the store right now. You should have told us when we came in, hey, I don't have change for 20.
Choice.
The News Watch
Never stops.
This is 680 News.
From the 680 News Traffic Center, I'm Michael Ranger. This report brought to you by Give Back Canada. Well, eastbound 401
You
Express
Give
Lane
Back
is blocked
Canada,
at
pussy.
Avenue Road or just east of Avenue Road for a
You're not
collision.
Give Back
Collectors are
Nazi.
open, moving fine. They are now in the
If you
process
took
of
it, it's
closing
gone.
the westbound 401 Express Lane.
If I didn't give you a message about a ransom, it's gone.
They think that it will be closed at the 404. You'll be forced into the collectors there. As of right now, on the eastbound side of the highway, you want to get into the collectors at Allen Road. Help Canadian thrift shop charities in need during this COVID-19 crisis. Box up your gently used clothing and footwear for donation. Visit givebackcanada.ca for free shipping details. Next
It's
report
the
is at
fucking
1:31.
30s
Now
and
it's your
40s again.
forecast.
Cold start to the weekend with a few scattered
Oh, you're
flurries.
laughing at
Daytime
my 40
highs
bottle
today,
full of
60 degrees.
nines?
Northwest wind into the afternoon near 70
That's not
kilometers
for you,
per
that's
hour.
for you.
Overnight down to 0. Daytime highs tomorrow near 10 degrees and mainly cloudy.
Oh.
As we head back to work on Monday, it's a 1 degree start to the day with a high of 7 by the afternoon. Today, 6.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour, reaction to one of the worst jobs reports in our country's history. Some 2 million jobs lost in April. Now some 4 million people who have been left unemployed since the COVID-19 pandemic began in mid-March. In response to the brutal numbers, the Trudeau government announcing it's extending federal help, specifically for small to medium-sized businesses. You're listening to All News Radio.
Anytime after 1980,
medium-sized businesses, as restaurant owners struggle to get through the pandemic, they're turning to a new wave of delivery services.
We had it harder than you, but we saw enough to know that the people ahead of us had it much harder.
Well-known and established apps.
You didn't know what to be on their site?
Restaurant operators like Donna Chevrier are among many who are now offering delivery independent.
Now they come up with new programs like nothing.
Chevrier's
the crap
is now part of Love Local Delivery
service
at Ottawa local restaurants.
Shit, that's good.
A similar program
That's good.
in Montreal
And the way it goes, it's how quickly they come up with this shit
as a
now.
co-op where owners, delivery operators, and
It's good. The
customers all have a
C-Rap,
voice.
commercial rap, Canadian rap, it's not too bad. It says crap, so it's kind of funny, but it's not offensive.
The money at the end of the year
Do it.
is returned.
Billions of dollars, who cares what it's called?
They have a say.
They could have called it the Holy Shit Program. Your
Existing
HSP
delivery
check?
apps
Yeah,
are already
holy shit,
pivoting to
bro.
address concerns. DoorDash is dropping commission fees by half, while Skip the Dishes is offering rebates on fees. In Ottawa,
There's not real money, man.
News.
All these delivery things, there's not a real hustle there because it's not sustainable. You find a gap where there's a service not being provided, that's great, but that's not what you're doing. You're charging more on top.
Roy Horn, one half of the famous Siegfried and Roy Magic and Entertainment Act in Las Vegas, has died due to complications from COVID-19. The 75-year-old tested positive for the virus a little more than a week ago. In an emotional statement posted on social media, Siegfried wrote, "Today the world has lost one of the greats of magic, but I have lost a best friend. From the moment we met, I knew Roy and I together would change the world. There could be no Siegfried without Roy, and no Roy without Siegfried." The Magic duo were a staple in Vegas for more than a decade, and they were well known for the daring performances with tigers and big cats. I'm Veronica Thor.
I know, I keep showing you the same buds over and over. Maybe the light again. I can't share them with you.
Report is coming
Show
up
them to
in
you.
1 minute.
Doesn't cost me nothing to show them to you.
As a homeowner, you have built up equity value in your home. With Capital Direct, equity equals flexibility for homeowners. Flexibility to finance your business. Flexibility to renovate your home. Or flexibility to pay off other bills like credit cards or property taxes. If you've got something you would like to take care of,
I'll tell my friends, the one gang they say has 10,000 members, they don't like us, and the other one has 1,100. So there you go, 11,100 enemies, I guess.
Together, we are making a difference to stop the
my
spread
friends
of
know that.
COVID-19. As businesses
Their
and
friends, and then
workplaces begin to reopen, we all
there's a class of people most people don't think about. You, when you're a trader, when you do business, the people you do your business associates, people you make money with, you don't hang out at their house all the time, shit, but you make money together. And you have what you have because of them, and they have what they have because of you.
Stay safe and save lives. For more information, visit
I guess those people are
ontario.ca/coronavirus.
friends. All my friends are hustlers.
Government of Ontario.
Big story.
I'm your host, Jordan Heath Rawlings. If the COVID-19 headlines are too fast, we can slow them down. Listen at thebigstorypodcast.ca or wherever you get your podcasts.
Unlike Apple, small business operators are facing unprecedented challenges, and until the economy restarts, just keeping the cash flowing is the main goal. There have been several support programs.
You have cash flow. Don't worry about the exact profit margins at this
financial
moment.
institutions. Jason
You have cash in your hand. You can pay the guy that helps you get that cash that day. Don't worry about the rest of it right now. You think the gas company can afford to send a technician to come cut off your gas? The hydrant's different. They'll shut that off remote.
As an example of 4 or 5 programs. Certainly as well during this period.
You think they're worried about the GST collection right now? What do you do with it? You set it all aside in the bank account. Don't you pay it at the end of the year?
Payment relief where applicable or needed.
I'm not saying rip off the tax money. I'm saying you have it in your hand right now.
Scaled back, and to what degree
you go bankrupt,
as well as extended payment
you can't get the sales tax money anyway.
2 examples.
Teal says small businesses should rely on advice from their financial support system.
Whether that's your banker, your financial advisor, your accountant, really to help navigate through all these
bankers, financial advisors,
during COVID-19, as well as position it for growth when
I do all three out here, man.
We really look at this as a few stages. So there's the immediate stage to kind of work through, but also position yourself with with you and your lender, for
Well,
example,
sometimes
how
you
do
see
we
me a
then
cash
manage
man.
our
Like, oh, I had somebody rob him or something. Not always my money. People know that.
Now actually be available instead of the daily work routine.
Seriously, what
idea
happened?
to review your business plan.
Rob me
within your business and also
money.
how the market is changing.
Really?
Businesses, you constantly have to look
Get
into
back,
new
don't worry.
avenues and new areas to expand and grow.
You're a criminal. If you fuck up once, you're dead, right? No, that's not how we do things.
Pace of growth, where you want to invest your resources. Not to mention the way the market's changing as well.
All right, any demerit points in
you
this
need to
game?
consider as far as moving forward.
Jason Teal, VP, Business Banking at Meridian Credit Union. And at the Business Center, I'm Mike Apple.
I told you.
Rona asked renovators how good they're feeling about getting outside this
It's
spring.
not fucking matter right now. This is all blabber time. Everybody brags about what they do, eh? Oh, suck crack. Oh, so weak. That's so weak. Crackheads. Oh, shit's strong enough to make them switch, at least for the night.
Hey, dude.
What is it to pay for?
With free parcel delivery, curbside pickup,
Some tricycle
and DIY project videos.
He's yelling. Nobody wants to serve me.
Projects at Rona.ca.
I'm walking away. You don't know me from shit. Maybe it turns out we're both in the same neighborhood.
Roto-Rooter wants you to know that they remain ready to help you with any of your
Say we're not. That's because we're not crack dealers.
Thank you for
I don't remember what I went out for. To clear my head or whatever. I think for a couple seconds. Yeah, he's got money, obviously.
Contact them at
Whoever he's trying to get whatever from doesn't want to deal with him. He just said it himself. So I come back and I say, if you want, I give you some weed. I can't get you that. I get you some weed. Crack talk, blabber, 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 blabber. He's handing me money. He's got a whole bunch more in his hand, but then he tells me he's getting a bad feeling for bad vibes. Like, bro, I wanted to hustle you for money. I've been trying to get all that.
Across the country.
This is a normal day. I'd have it in my pocket right now and just hand it to you.
With a high of 8 degrees.
When I end up coming back downstairs, I don't know, 4 minutes later,
cloudy and 6 degrees.
he's not there.
You guessed it, cloudy, 6 degrees.
Now,
The daytime high. Regina, we're
walking around
expecting it to be
fine.
mostly cloudy with a daytime high of 8.
I see one of my boys, and I see the back of the fucking tricycle off in a different doorway.
25, Edmonton.
I come walking up, the man looks up at me,
Calgary,
give me the strangest look.
A high of 11.
Because he tells me, this man just just said he gave somebody money, and he didn't think he was coming back from it. And I asked him who it was, I asked him to describe him, and he started to describe you, and I started to tell him, no, that youth not rob you, nothing, man. He's not gonna rip you, no, that youth will never rip you. And then you come walking up. Why the fuck did he leave when you was standing?
Of the COVID-19 pandemic, the
crackers.
federal government's extending the federal aid for businesses. The emergency wage subsidy program will go beyond the previous June cutoff. Another
Did I say anything
one of our
incriminating there? I don't
country's
think so.
production lines, the dairy
You can't arrest me for anything I
Ontario
just
has
said.
seen
You can't arrest
killed
anybody else.
and nearly
That's the
2
important
dozen
part. I'll give a
infected.
fuck
Getting
what you
tested for
do.
COVID-19 isn't easy. We're hearing from a woman who showed multiple
I always
symptoms
figure-
almost a month ago, but
I
is
always
only
figure
now
the police
about
are
to get
stopping me
checked
for
out.
no good
These
reason. This
sports
is my
NBA teams
philosophy
get the
running
green
in the
light to open up
streets as I
training
do.
facilities while the
They're
Toronto
stopping me or
Raptors
asking me,
will wait
oh,
until
where the
Monday,
fuck you still?
4:45.
Yeah, on the one hand, it's that. But I'm thinking, all my boys are running the hood right now, just doing whatever the fuck they want, because you're standing there. Look at me. This is perfect. I'll waste your time just like you waste mine, stupid.
From the 680 News Traffic Center, I'm Michael Ranger. Collision on the 401 has the express lanes of both sides of the highway blocked off right now.
Blocked off, blocked off, blocked off, locked down, total shutdown. Turn out those lights. Oh no, you can leave the lights on.
Blocked off at Allen Road, you're going to be forced into the
virus doesn't
collectors.
give a fuck
You can't
about
get back
lights.
into the express until you're past the 404 DVP.
I don't know what
And this
these
is
old
because of the
people
collision on the
grew
highway,
up worried
between
about.
Avenue Road and
Zeppelins.
Yonge Street. We've got another collision
Dropping
westbound 401 ramp to the
Zyklon B.
northbound 410.
Oh,
Left
they
lane
could
of that
done it.
ramp
They
is
could have
blocked off.
done
They
it.
did have it completely
Easy.
shut down earlier, but they are letting the right lane
The
through.
Nazis'
Next report is at
downfall was their
141.
ego
Let's check your forecast.
shit.
A very cold start here
Arrogance.
across the GTA to the weekend. Daytime highs running well off the seasonal
Evil
mark, a
is
high of 6 today.
persistent.
We are going to see some flurries through morning and midday and then into the afternoon. Winds gusting up to 70 kilometers per hour. We're looking at a cloudy sky until the
I
late
don't think I can
afternoon with
afford a
some
car that
showers
can do
through
70
today,
right
a high
now,
6.
Historic job
We
losses
got, I
in April
think we
with
got
nearly
limited
2
speed
million people
motorcycles,
put out
50
of work
kilometers an
because
hour.
of the
Can you
pandemic.
imagine riding a
Employment
motorcycle? You're
rates
trying to do
spiking
50, the wind's doing
7.8%
70.
in March
Not
to
moving.
13% last month,
Well,
the second highest total ever, only behind 13.1% unemployment In 1982, the federal government now choosing to extend its emergency wage subsidy program beyond its early June endpoint. Nigel Newlock's getting reaction to the decision from the Canadian Federation of Independent Business and Canadian Chamber of Commerce.
I've been paying more and more attention to this one, even I wasn't really at first. Oh, good, everybody got money. That's good.
We'll keep Canadians on life support until the economy can reopen.
In my mind, I just do the math. At $2,000 a month, you got kids in the house. Holy
to hire back employees if their business isn't open, but it will be very useful if the business is allowed to reopen. They're starting to bring back their employees that they had earlier laid off.
The troubling job loss numbers don't come as a surprise.
You give us proper dates for everything, man.
There's a long road
at the end of all this, can we not get on a proper schedule? Like you guys don't schedule shit properly throughout the day, throughout the month. 15 days. We'll go to the 14th. Or 14 days. We'll go to the 15th. How about the 18th? Can we make this simple?
In Ottawa, Nigel Newlove, City News.
It's bad enough we got countries all over the world with this problem. Look at the U.S. They can't, all the separate states can't agree on what to do.
That's what Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says looking ahead, supports for daycare will be needed to help women get back to work.
We can't have idiots from, let's say, people from New York coming up on one side, and then but the other side of the border is locked down or some shit. You know us without it.
Restarting, there needs to be more and secure childcare spaces for people to get back into the workforce.
Stats Canada says since COVID-19 forced an economic shutdown in March, job losses in the country have had a disproportionate impact on women, youth, and newcomers. The Prime Minister adds nobody should have to go to work if they don't feel safe doing so.
We have put in many measures across various industries to minimize the risk, particularly around essential work. But we're going to have to be very careful to ensure that we're doing what we need to do right across the country, businesses, orders of governments, and all Canadians, to ensure the safety of the people who are working to provide for the rest of us.
This as we hear of another deadly COVID outbreak at one of our country's production lines. This one responsible for processing dairy products
fridge doors
in
actually
Ontario.
This one death at Vaughan Saputo Dairy Products was a York Region resident. 23 other employees have tested positive recently, and 5 of those are also residents of York Region. York Regional Public Health was alerted to the confirmed cases on April 29th.
I want everybody to see me doing this all fucking day. I want to fucking blow my hands.
This location does not produce food and it is not open to the public. The processing plant now has a reduced staff complement, as well as rigorous cleaning procedures in place and PPE for all staff. These 24 new cases are just the latest cases confirmed at food processing plants throughout the province, with Conestoga Meats in Waterloo confirming 44 new cases on Friday. I'm James Martin.
The first reported COVID-19 case at an Alberta jail. The province's top doctor says the inmate was infected before they arrived at the Calgary Remand Centre. Jeff Slack joins us with more. Alberta's Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Dina Hinshaw, says correctional officers directly led the inmate to the quarantine unit once the individual.
Oh, because normally we go on a social fucking walk, eh? Like that's you always go directly when you
quarantined with one cellmate who was
at the jail. You know that. Oh, they walked me around and introduced me to the boys. No, they didn't. They walked you straight to wherever you're going.
And both the individual and the cellmate were placed in isolation, where the person who felt ill was swabbed.
They walked them directly to the quarantine. Well, what they're not telling you, they still went through like 6 fucking holding cells before they got there. That's the normal procedure. Don't give me shit. I know exactly what you fucking do.
Monitoring of new admissions.
Where you people handle disease is fucking disgusting. If you're going to keep animals of any type in a cage, you're responsible for their health.
A woman in her 80s in a continuing care facility in Calgary, and 81 new cases. I'm Jeff Slack. Every province is going to move at its own pace in relaxing restrictions. Nova Scotia's top doctors keeping a close eye on neighboring New Brunswick as that province gets ready to enter phase 2.
I'm anxious to see what the impact in New Brunswick is on them opening up. That will give us information that will be helpful to us, frankly, here in Nova Scotia to inform some of the steps when we're ready to take them.
Oh, it's got ringworm. We have to kill it.
Officer of Health, Dr. Robert Strang, releasing Nova Scotia's plan Friday to stress there are no timelines. The initial phase would see non-essential businesses open and allow daycares to resume along with non-urgent healthcare services, like some day surgeries and doctor visits. How soon full film production resumes in British Columbia will depend on how soon American workers are allowed to cross the border. Marcella Bernardo is in Vancouver talking with a local film industry executive.
There's an animal in your house in distress. You don't even warrant.
The president of Vancouver Film Studios, Pete Mitchell, says instead of self-isolating for 2 weeks, American actors, producers, and directors who need to work in Canada may only need to wait 2 days if they get tested for COVID-19.
But that's the only reason they don't do it is because the judge will end up kicking it. Unless you got some really big, huge
That's
case,
why he's
a drug
hoping the
case,
federal government will agree to
won't do
lift
it for
some
a drug case.
industry-related border restrictions.
Because it's an end run around getting a warrant. You can't leave it. If the animal's in distress, you're fucked. If you really got a fucking animal locked up in your house and a pile of drugs, well, you're fucked.
$3 billion worth of investment in BC every year is foreign-based. I'm Marcella Bernardo.
The USPCA.
The city of Toronto is getting ready to reopen more non-essential retail businesses. To correspond with that, they're making sure there's enough separation on sidewalks.
There was no animals on TV set, but we found all these weed plants. So we immediately called.
In April, the city of Toronto launched
Guns and Gang Squad.
an initiative to identify pedestrian hotspots to help reduce
and they can say, oh, we came rushing in to do a raid. We thought there was guns because the OSPCA said blah, blah, blah. We thought there was dogs because the OSPCA said we're all past the point. You spent 2 years in fucking dead time.
And staff already have plans for more than 100 hotspots.
Many of those are set to be selected.
Oh yeah, everybody don't get convicted. That's not the point.
Hotspot designations received so far from across the city. The expansion comes as the city prepares for the reopening of all retail stores with a street entrance, which can begin curbside pickup and delivery on Monday. I'm Michelle Matthews.
Just doing a curbside pickup, bro.
Constant efforts being made to expand
testing
across the country, but unfortunately, a
a
lot of people with symptoms are being left in COVID limbo. We're hearing from a woman who's been trying to get tested for nearly a month.
Just got to get that COVID.
26 days. That's how long Nancy George has waited to be tested for COVID-19.
Oh, we don't know if her phones are tapped or not, but we fuck with them anyway.
The 61-year-old called HealthLink on April 13th, saying
they probably are, but they're probably not doing anything about what they're hearing. From what we can tell.
She was told within a couple of days her test date would be set. While waiting, she went into isolation. After 10 days, she called HealthLink again.
And I was told that they were extremely busy and that they were way behind. And that
I think it's Centrelink, but that's in Australia. What the fuck are people talking about?
Both George and City News reached out to Alberta Health Services to ask about why she was still waiting to be tested. After our request and our interview, HealthLink called George to arrange a test for Saturday.
When idiots have a meth problem in Australia, $500 a fucking gram and all that bullshit. You never nothing from Canada in the 80s and 90s. There's nothing. Listen to nothing to tell you. Told you all these things is gone. You're not as good.
It's 39 minutes past the hour. You're listening to All News Radio.
Lowe's would like to raise a hammer to everyone who got used to their new conference room.
What was that? We're looking at page 6
right now. You don't have guns. You got people cutting each other up with machetes and chainsaws. You don't have guns.
You've made it to spring, and it's time to build that extra room outside. Find everything you need to build your dream backyard at Lowe's.ca and enjoy free parcel delivery and curbside pickup. Conditions apply. Lowe's. Make your yard your home. At Intact Insurance, we're committed to helping people when they need us the most. And today's no different. That's why we're providing payment flexibility and auto insurance premium adjustments in response to this current crisis. So far, these efforts have helped over 350,000 Canadians and businesses. If you're experiencing financial hardship, or if your driving habits have changed, we can help. To learn more about our ongoing relief measures, visit intact.ca or contact your broker.
Every hour, there's new information about the coronavirus.
Now more than ever, turn to All News Radio.
We'll break down what you need to know to stay safe.
This is All News Radio.
From the 680 Traffic Center, I'm Michael Ranger. Express lanes of the 401, both directions, eastbound and westbound, are closed between Allen Road.
So whatever the fuck happened all day, they're not telling us much.
Happened on the 401 and the East Express.
Oh yeah, it's the guy that is, the guy that
collectors are open on both sides of the highway. They are moving well. Southbound 404
Friday, end of the week.
The westbound 401 Express is shut down for the same incident. Southbound 404 ramp to the eastbound 401, that is closed for
how do you guys close off multiple for this walls
between these 410? A collision there. Left lane of the ramp is blocked. Right lane is getting by. Some minor delays while using that ramp. Next report is at 1:51. Now let's check your forecast.
A cold start to the weekend and some morning flurries. How's that for May? Looks like daytime highs today near 6 degrees. Winds out of the northwest this afternoon, gusting to 70 kilometers per hour. As we head overnight, another night with a frost threat down to 0, mainly cloudy tomorrow. We're going to a high of 10 degrees today at 6 in the forecast.
There's literally no point going to the hall. Yeah, traded. You did break your toe.
I do at Vancouver City.
Thousands of dollars in your own
account. The city is offering up a venue for micro weddings as a pilot project.
Just taking a normal step. This is why I don't walk around barefoot, taking a normal step. Clip the fucking wall somehow.
In 2018. Right now, the city is only
Pain
offering
ain't
up its
nothing.
new
Oh, it hurts like a
plaza.
bastard. I curse, but that's me letting it the
That
fuck
could
out.
just be a start.
When we're able to have gatherings that are more than 50 people, that we would also be able to
50?
offer
Are you
those
crazy,
types of
bitch? 50
ceremonies
people?
inside City Hall.
You should have a party of 1,000 people, man.
Venue for weddings.
50.
Toronto City Hall even has its
Yo,
own wedding
I was
chapel.
over at Todd's house last week.
And your sweetheart can be married at
Don't
Vancouver
tell
City Hall
nobody,
as
bro.
long as there aren't any more than 10
Yeah, we
people
ordered,
in total.
2
I'm
pizzas from
Green
one place, then we got
This is
Chinese
All
from
News
another
Radio.
place, so they don't know how many people
Coronavirus
it's really
updates
taking.
and breaking
The
news.
same damn delivery guy came both times. Yeah, that's not cool.
At 680news.com/.
Oh yeah, you know what fucked up? That you didn't learn from the drug game. You got the same guy running for every fucking company. That doesn't work. Not if you're all going to be separate, independent companies. It don't work.
Really do. But don't you suppose that maybe, just maybe, everybody could use a little help, like Jerry here?
Well, she told me it was easy. I went to OntarioCars.ca, and don't you know,
The
I
guy's
fell
being
in love
presented
with
as
the beauty.
representing your company.
Look up OntarioCars.ca
You don't know who the fuck he is. You're supposed to know who he is. You don't know who he is because he just popped up on an application.
We're two men.
Desperate, hungry people delivering food to people with lots of money. Money enough to pay huge markups for
You know you can trust.
people that live next to grocery stores who get food delivered to them. By poor ass people.
Men and lots of trucks.
That can drive you insane. That can drive somebody insane. You don't want that guy handling your food.
96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust. The choice is simple. We're two men in a truck.
If you worked for the damn restaurant, they'd be handed every fucked up order, everything that somebody ordered and didn't come pick up. Here, eat that.
This is All News Radio.
You think you run weed and you don't smoke a joint every fucking time you need to?
Right now, more than 3 million people have lost
How much money
their
you make?
jobs
I don't
since the
fucking know. But I
pandemic.
don't run under anything I
Beginning in
need.
March, the Friday jobs
Tax
report
that,
added another
asshole.
nearly 2 million to the list of people.
All these
suddenly
receipts
without
with the
work in
GST, are you
Canada.
going to use them to put me away? Good. You give me my GST money too, asshole. Oh, I pay out money I'm not supposed
This
to.
has the federal government
I consider that my
extending its emergency
contribution.
wage subsidy program beyond its early June endpoint. The Prime Minister reiterating that no Canadian should feel they have to go to work if they don't feel safe. This as we hear of a dairy production plant in Vaughan, Ontario now dealing with an outbreak. Almost 24 infected and 1 now killed. The COVID-19 death toll in Canada is now
What's the guy's name? Schmidt? Michael
4,569.
Schmidt.
More than
Yo, I know everybody's
66,000 people have been infected, but over 30,000
dairy farmer.
recovered.
They keep trying to put him in jail because he's willing to sell unpasteurized milk. He's not pretending it's pasteurized. Oh, this was unpasteurized. He's not going. You don't go to the grocery store and get seal tests or whatever. Oh, it says pasteurized, but it's not. These people don't want their milk pasteurized. I don't know why. They want raw milk. You know the guy taking care of the cow. That's between you and him, isn't it?
In Germany and Switzerland. Then later in the season, the Avalanche and Blue Jackets were scheduled for
You
their
should move
regular
on to a
season matchups in
reservation somewhere
Helsinki,
with all these
Finland.
cows. You say you even went through all the trouble of arranging it like a business. You buy a cow or a share of a cow, so whatever milk comes out is yours, and you pay him a fee to maintain the cow.
The next step would be to
Oh, that's still that's a workaround this stupid law that we have. Yeah, it is because it's legal now. No, it's not legal.
I think the truth is there's very
Fucking
few
Ontario, they
jurisdictions
fuck you for everything up
where
there.
NHL teams play at this moment that could even open their practice ranks. I've spoken with teams that have been having that discussion, with their local governments, and then they just don't feel they're going to be able to do it. And then, the biggest issue right now, I think, in addition to
Let's put your handcuffs on the back just to remind you.
is the testing issue.
As for the testing, it might be a factor in the league reportedly heading right into the postseason. This according to Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman.
I think that one of the reasons you're going to see no regular season is that
Corporate crime and white-collar crime examines topical controversies including Conrad Black, Nortel, CIBC/Enron, GM, and BreX. Oh, nice.
And you can knock out. Why not do it?
Friedman also guessed that
Drug crime, the consequences of hypocrisy include sections on media, community, and police responses to drugs and compares Canadian and American approaches to drug use. Americans use pipe, Canadians use rolling papers.
One coach inside with no
We
overlap.
use lighters, we use matches. That's the
Sports
only
at
difference.
15 to 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca. British Columbia's premier wants the federal government to cover the costs of sick leave through the Federal Employment Insurance Fund. John Horgan says as provinces begin to reopen their economies,
It's important that workers feel secure staying home when they are unwell.
Easy build number 685. They have hundreds of these things.
Companies who are coming out from underneath 2 months of no revenue, we can't then say to them, we need to have a paid sick leave program coming from you. We need to find a national response to this.
Need to be fixed up or not.
Allowing sick workers leave is important for both public health and consumer confidence. Our country's top doctor, Teresa Tam, has said
you don't see much abandoned properties, but there's no money.
To be a thing of the past.
Oh, here you got fucking people with money living next to. You have a mansion, and then on the next block,
for now,
an abandoned hotel.
$20 billion deficit. So while we continue to maintain and in some cases increase physician compensation, we must manage it in the future.
Premier Jason Kenney's government had begun making changes to compensation earlier to keep the total budget at its current level of more than $5 billion a year. It rolled back on many of those changes after some rural physicians announced they can't make a living working in hospitals while also maintaining a clinic. A research team led by experts at the University of Calgary's Cummings School of Medicine has discovered a faster way to test for COVID-19. Lisa Grant joins us with the details.
The new method, which the team is freely sharing with scientists around the world, gets results in 30 minutes. Study lead Dr. Dylan Pillay says they're still working on getting the test ready for the front lines.
It's probably 3 to 6 months away. Having said that, the method itself can be used by laboratories that may already have equipment in place. That's called a laboratory developed test. But in order for it to be commercialized, there's still work to be done.
The method, which uses chemicals that are more available, makes it possible to develop into a handheld device,
original
which
black
they're also working on right now, and hope to have a working model of.
That's how I know they came here.
Dr. Pillay says
it's the same written language. I got white people telling me no, it's not.
Of the masses anywhere in the world.
You don't have a written language. Okay, well, what's this shit? That's not real.
Taking a look at the
it looks just like the other shot. That's not connected. How the fuck do you know if you're not from either place and you weren't there?
569. More than 66,000 people have been infected, but over 30,000
I'm telling you, it's my culture, and I know what that is. And you're telling me I don't know what that is?
The most cases by a significant margin, with over 36,000, followed by Ontario, which is approaching 20,000. Alberta now reporting over 6,000 cases. British Columbia over 2,300, and Nova Scotia now over 1,000. It's 49 minutes past the hour. You're listening to All News Radio.
Moving at the pace of your day.
This is 680 News.
We've all heard those home renovation stories. Hi, I'm Jeannie Becker. Georgian Renovations has created Smart Reno to offer a home renovation that's quick, easy, and affordable. Simply choose from the Smart Reno packages or work with award-winning designers to create a vision that is truly your own. With a guaranteed price and time frame, it's never been easier to transform your home into something you'll fall in love with again. Get your free, no-obligation instant estimate today at GeorgianReno.com.
So, you're stuck inside for, well, who knows how long. Let's take stock. TV, check. Snacks,
you buy the box and throw it loose into somewhere and something will get wet. Something fall out, you don't know what's in there. I know exactly what's here. They ain't falling out, they ain't getting wet.
Well, you're in luck. Watch Hot Docs at Home on CBC. Catch world premieres.
Start 525. No, more, because I can use one match multiple times.
On CBC.
Good luck with that lighter. Oh, good luck not getting caught with that lighter. Metal and plastic and shit. You'll be leaving evidence. In the woods, on the find your ass.
Traffic Center, I'm Michael Ranger. Well, westbound and eastbound 401 Express remain closed between Allen and the DVP 404. Collectors open both sides of the highway. They are moving fine as of now. That was initially closed for a collision, though traffic spotter calling and saying there's some slippery conditions on that bridge between Avenue and Yonge Street on the 401. So be careful if you're driving through that stretch. We've also got some wintry conditions north of the city. Collision on the southbound 400.
You want to take your snow tires off. Are you fucking retarded? You don't know how to live in sync with this country. Oh, everything's shut down for a virus, so I should stay home. Let's go get the snow tires off. Why?
We'll start today with some lake effect.
You don't even know for sure winter's over. You don't even know for sure this will be done before next winter. All you know is you're not driving anywhere for 3 to 6
kilometers per hour. Wind will become
70 kilometer-an-hour winds. Snow. Don't tell me that shit ain't gonna turn to black ice.
Mainly cloudy. Partly cloudy on Monday with a high of 7 degrees. Today, a high of 6.
Coming up at the top of the hour on All News Radio, reaction to one of the worst jobs
what do you do when you hit black ice? You shit your pants, you break your neck, and you die.
Left unemployed since the pandemic began in mid-March.
Whatever you were driving becomes 10 cents a pound of scrap metal. It ain't worth nothing. The parts ain't no shit.
You're listening to All News Radio. Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland has a message for children across the country as Mother's Day approaches in a time of physical distancing. Freeland
all of a sudden you know about mothering and parenting and children and shit.
Shut up. Helping hands.
I would really like to say, if you can,
shut up.
Give your mother a hug.
Your kids are raised by fucking...
If you can, maybe help clean up the house a little bit. I know it's hard for you, but it is really also a hard time for parents.
Mommy, who the hell is this bitch?
Freeland was quick to say she also had a personal interest in delivering the message. There's a COVID-19 conspiracy movie making the rounds online. It's caught the attention of health experts and social media companies for potentially spreading dangerous misinformation. Courtney Terrio is getting a reaction to Plandemic from University of Alberta Professor of Health Law and Science Policy, Timothy Caulfield.
Wearing the mask literally activates your own virus. The documentary-style coronavirus conspiracy film features a researcher named Judy Mikovits, among other things, that wearing masks can actually be harmful.
Every
you gotta be careful with everything you do.
A new bit of BS.
YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter have all pulled the video or are working to minimize its spread. But like a game of whack-a-mole, it keeps
that's why you don't do we're gonna censor it. Yeah, that doesn't work, stupid. There's still a rule that if you ship a gay pornographic film, if you ship any film into Canada, if it crosses the border, for some reason, Canada Post, who has nothing to do with crossing the border, can open all of it, watch all of it, and keep whatever they like. They have an official policy. If there's gay sex in it, they keep it. You just keep it. They gotta store this shit somewhere.
In Edmonton, Courtney Terrio, City News.
Oh, they got mad when the internet came on. They tried to make that rule apply to the internet. They got mad. Canada Post, bunch of Nazi boys and child molesters. You got a union. We got a union.
A source told CNN Ivanka Trump's personal assistant has tested positive for COVID-19. The assistant has reportedly not been around the president's daughter in several weeks and instead has been teleworking for nearly 2 months. The source adds that she was not
teleworking. There's a word he didn't hear since like 1989.
Meek and her husband Jared Kushner both reportedly tested negative for the virus on Friday.
The information superhighway. Look at us here. We're all on the superhighway right now. Look at us go. Look at us go.
COVID-19 on Thursday. Trump also confirming on Friday that Vice President Mike Pence's press secretary Katie Miller also tested positive. I'm Veronica Thor.
I'm going to want coffee.
It's 55 minutes past the hour. You're listening to All News Radio.
So I guess, I don't know. I guess these videos are sort of a sickle cell disease support group.
Make our city great.
That's why 680 News has partnered with Scotiabank
COVID-19 support group. I'll fucking lock down. I'll fucking know. I'm the local neighborhood hustler. I'm your friendly neighbor.
Signing up for online classes or
old lady sent me to get the milk, and the store owners sent me to drop their fucking tax returns in the mail. Oh, but they're gonna call the cops on me because we don't like how I'm dressed. Yeah, he's running around. I see him running around with black people.
Scotiabank, we're in this together.
Need something to watch? Binge away the boredom with City TV now.
Where would you like to go?
Full seasons of the shows you love, streaming now and ready to go.
I'm pregnant.
Sure it's yours? We got a fire in there. From Chicago Wednesday to Family Guy, Modern Family to Mom, we've got what you're looking for. Even Hudson and Rex. Good boy. City TV now. On demand, the City TV app, and at citytv.com. Get it like now.
680 News is everywhere.
Even your smart speaker.
Ask to play 680 News.
Playing 680 News.
Unlike others, small business operators are facing unprecedented challenges, and until the economy restarts, just keeping the cash flowing is the main goal. There have been several support programs announced by the federal government, along with measures provided by financial institutions. Jason Teal is the VP of Business Banking at Meridian Credit Union.
6 a.m.
That goes from there's the SEBA program, who's had a lot of press, to BDC and EDC, BCAP, Canadian Wage Subsidy, and Commercial Rent Assistance as an example of 4 or 5 programs. Certainly as well during this period, businesses are reaching out to their credit union or bank, who have provided assistance as well, in form of payment relief where applicable or needed. And also, we recommend assessing what variable costs can be scaled
Call
back.
and say, hey, that check ain't gonna clear this month. Do whatever you gotta do.
Payment terms with suppliers.
Oh, you're gonna crack down and try to collect instantly? Yeah, you get another penny. You can chill out, wait till next month.
That's your banker, your financial advisor, your accountant.
Oh, I want my money now. Where are you gonna get it from? Nobody's got any money. What are you gonna see? You see somebody's property, who are you going to sell it to? Somebody like me who ain't going to pay you because I don't like people like you.
So there's the immediate stage to kind of work through, but also position yourself with you.
The government has a whole bunch of fucking houses and shit they can't sell. Oh, belong to the Hells Angels. Oh, we're not helping you fucking sell that.
Now actually be available instead
of we got this $1 million property. Yeah, you've been forfeiting the taxes on it.
Go up within your business and also at how the market is changing. All businesses, you constantly have to be looking at new avenues and new areas to expand and grow.
New avenues.
But in today's market,
on that avenue, you don't really want to see.
You want to invest your resources. Not to mention the way the market's changing as well is something that you need to consider as far as moving forward.
Jason Teal, VP, Business Banking at Meridian Credit Union. At the Business Center, I'm Mike Apple.
Rona asked renovators how good they're feeling about getting outside this spring. You can't look at my smile. This is radio. Oh, sorry. Look at my smile. No, they can't see you.
I'm fine right now. My ribs are all fucked up.
Free parcel delivery, curbside pickup, and DIY. Everything.
Oh, that's why I'm getting some wrong station.
Le stress. Et je pense que le meilleur remède est et a toujours été le cannabis. Non, mais Ronnie Nelson qui dit ça. Les fumeurs de cannabis.
Toujours le cannabis. J'ai besoin de cannabis, monsieur.
C'est vrai que l'après-midi est agréable. Ouais, parmi les fumeurs de cannabis, il y a Sting et Shaggy à la rubrique Les Beaux Duos. En avril 2018, on parlait d'un plus du moment. Pourtant,
tu sais, le Cheech and Chong, le Cypress Hill, le compteur.
À la rubrique de la réaction forte sur les réseaux sociaux.
Okay, let's talk about that. What's he gonna say? He's gonna say something stupid about weed. I have weed on me, I'm sorry. Oh. Yeah, my ribs weren't for this. Two separate issues going on here. All this moaning is because of my fucking ribs. Oh, so I fell into the fucking counter, right? Let's see if I can fuck this up professionally. That timer just went back and forth. 53, 54, 53, 54, 55. I swear to God, this fucking website is so fucked up. Business that was considered essential. We're a hardware store, but we sell chocolate bars now. I'm an accountant, but now I sell toilet paper. We'll buy some toilet paper, put it in your office. I think they sell shit by the case and multi-packs and shit. They're trying to fucking get you to go sell the shit. They're telling you it gets cheaper if you buy more and make your job simpler. Hustler packs. I think I got all this fucking old fluids. Everything falls apart other than selling water to fucking people at the basketball. You got Coke and Pepsi? No, they don't sell that garbage. We got water, we got, I don't know what else comes in things, fruit juice or some shit. Pepsi, Coke, not on this block, dog. There's some junkie block for that. Go talk to the convenience store guy, the government store. Go talk to the company store. People destroy what's around them. Oh, I have to make money. Okay, but how are you going to make money later? Oh, I bought too many things. I can cut back a bit and make more money. Yeah, but I'm going to die. That's not going to help me. Oh, my lungs feel good. I had all that. I think I must have smoked a quarter ounce over that last day or so when I was up.
Going hard to my number call. Trust me, dog. You ain't prepared to do what I'm prepared to do. Working hard. The artillery I got, cut you in half with the chainsaw. Rat the tat tat tat.
Left the quarter chainsaw.
Listen.
The fuck is that for?
Everybody look what's going down.
Oh, that's in case you gotta use a chainsaw inside. What is wrong with you?
She just jamming even when her arm that she can't speak. It's a cold world that we live in, take it from me. Yeah, in the end, everything I see and have seen is but a dream within a dream. Long days, cold nights, serving fiends. Just the life that we live, just the life that we live, just the life that we live, motherfucker. Just the life that we live, just the life that we live, motherfucker. Just the life that we live, just the life that we live, just the life that we live, motherfucker. Just the life that we live, just the life that we live, just the life that we live.
Imagine fucking dog, a bando. Who started that?
I got homie on standby, ready to let it rip. I suggest you close your lips, stop bumping your guards before you hurt someone you love. No remorse for my gun, no regrets for these clips. Cross me and I'll think about shit. Get an M16, cocked up the black market shit. Big guns, big clips, you don't want any part of this. I'm on that leave you retarded shit. We ain't shit, not giving a fuck who started it. Try me, see how far you get. 4 goons in a stolen whip. Roll through, fuck your whole day up. Fuck your clown, should've paid up. Not a great nigga putting in work. Covering your coffin in dirt. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, he got what he deserved. Just the life that we live, just the life that we live, just the life that we live, motherfucker. Just the life that we live, just the life that we live, just the life that we live, motherfucker. Just the life that we live, just the life that we live, just the life that we live, motherfucker. Just the life that we live, just the life that we live, just the life that we live, motherfucker.
Perspectives on evil. Problem of evil in mythology.
There ain't no peace, all I see is violence in the streets. Junkies in the alleyways, homie broke his by any means. Random robberies just to feed. Who's has imagine what it's like to be me? It's just the nature of the beast. No warning, we just sink our teeth. We put the competition apart. Once the gun goes off, it gets dark. He played until he passed on. A grown man cried like a hoe. What a sad song. All my soldiers put your flags on. We gon' bang to this song. I keep it strapped like an ace in the hat. Yeah, I'd rather get caught with it than with all where I'm at. Got no time for rats. Tell Brooke and they can kiss her ass. We don't talk to police, got no respect for the bad. That's why I keep the gun in mass right next to the stash. You can't play me. It's the nature of the beast. The nature of the beast. It's the nature of the beast. Say you can't play me. It's the nature of the beast. The nature of the beast. Nature of the beast. Say you can't play me. The nature of the beast. The nature of the beast, the nature of the beast, you can't play me. The nature of the beast, the nature of the beast, the nature of the beast. I'm jumping on deck with my hand on my tech. Disrespect the mob and get your face in your lap.
Yeah, most people use money as book money. Crackheads and cokeheads use money to do drugs.
Don't talk shit, get your burner, homie. Chrome on me, and I'm down for the first degree. First 40 gig, and my cousin on tape. Cutting the cop up with a 30 razor blade. These days are crazy, but we stay getting paid. Fuck with the boss, so your homework is sprayed. I'm hanging with drug dealers. My city's a melting pot, controlled by the devil's plot. Don't care if you're ready or not, leave you dead on the block. I'm stepping ahead of the cops. G's up, holes down, I'm choking around. Catch you smoking a pound in your hood, holding it down. Killer King, holding the crown. You can't play me. It's the nature of the beast. The nature of the beast. It's the beast. Say you can't play me. It's the nature of the beast. The nature of the beast. Nature of the beast. Say you can't play me. It's the nature of the beast. The nature of the beast. Say the nature of the beast. Say you can't play me. The nature of the beast. The nature of the beast. Yeah, the nature of the beast. You ain't gangster. All you do is talk. You some back up wankster. Stuck up in the bench. You get checked up. Wankster. Penetrate the score with my blades up. Banks cut. Start to break the walls when you stay blind. Keep your fucking blacks. Creeping in the average. You ain't wrong. Just straight. Stay away from the gangs. Raised up. Aim up at your brain. Then we spray sluts. Raised up. In the gutter lights where we laced up. Slant draws. Ain't no other way. Homie can't God. Baker. Boy, to the door for a extra text. One big thing that I can't straight. You say quicks with the points, let's place. Fucking with the Mary J. Slut. Make what's all but the block will be back. Cause Marley, you bankrupt.
Marley, you bankrupt. You were rich, and I swear it wasn't financially.
Say you can't blame me.
You seen any gang members around?
That's what they ask us about too. That dope too. That's real. I don't know if that's a real recording. Hey, you seen anybody out there selling weed? Gotta ask around, bro. Have you seen anybody?
This creation of God, built and fall from heaven. I don't bleed the river, I ain't him in the breeze. I'm in the belly of the beast, singing fuck the police. Yeah, fuck the police. Careful, just a number see us in the grave. Then it's like the shade, tied up on the legs. Why me and the devil we dance? The crack rock got the custies in the chains. Yeah, the gun jam, better run, probably on the chain. Yeah, so my soul from a gold chain. If you ask me, there's nothing nice for this game. There's nothing nice about this game. So many homies in the game. Our only promise is this place. There's nothing nice about this game. I feel beat in my chest. It seems I only breathe with a love for sex. So most of the time, I'm fucking dead. Living the dark with emotions aside. Gangsta with a black flag held high. Modern day pirate, disciple of Cyrus. Shit slick against me violent. Out the window with the 9 mile. Hit him up and leave him dead. After the wake, I'm at his crib. Fucking his bitch, her father in his cage. I'm probably burned for the way I live. Everywhere I go, I got a pocket full of sins. Yeah, this is how it is. I'm throwing bullet up a dollar. Yeah, the coach and the pirates. Time to get the soda off the fridge. There's nothing nice about this game. So many homies in the game. Our only promise is this day. There's nothing nice about this game.
Life ain't fair. God don't care. This is how it is. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit, man. Okay, I'll read it in a second.
It might just be illusions, so much I just lose the losing and diffusing losing touch with the clutch box spiritualisms. Ain't it up corrupting up from multiple delirious to feel slow. Weary, weary, disappearing. Mr. King to live with luxury, but soldiers make appearances. The kings to live with fear, shedding tears before the fingers flipping, vision, living filthy, falling victim to the city's gripping, pushing by the victim. You're screaming, no one's listening. This is intervention, stolen innocence. I think it's just a figment. Seeing bitches take 2 minutes in my business. That's the pictures of addicted, so diminishing. Can't win this shit. I'm trying to spin no seconds. That's irrelevant. Don't matter what that's irrelevant. No less from metal skeletons, no flesh skin. Satisfied to get your marriage, looking militants. Rebellion, enemies is never planning.
God don't care, this is how it is. Say you can pray, God ain't listening. God don't care, this is how it is. Say you can pray, God ain't listening. Laying there with her eyes open, having pipe dreams. been 4 days now, she still can't sleep. She has trouble sitting still, so she paces around the room. She's praying that I get this food. Tears in her eyes when she stares at an empty spoon. She's got a baby in her womb, exhausted the blood. She let the needle take her soul. Yeah, she let the baby all grown up. Yeah, she all grown up, and she hate the world. I told her life ain't fair. God don't care. This is how it is. It's a cold world we live in. Ain't no exceptions. The church locked up the womb, but God ain't listening. Hooker, if you hungry, take your ass to the soup kitchen. I ain't cuffing you nothing. Yeah, life ain't fair. God don't care. This is how it is. Say you can pray, God ain't listening. Life ain't fair. God don't care how it is. Say you can pray, God ain't listening. Lost their minds trying to find the song.
Those are all Cream, AT, and Black rappers, gang members. Now check this shit out. Oh, that's why I put that in there. That's a special membership only card for the Ministry of Community. Anyway. So it starts off with Greek shit. The part I want to share is in the middle, but I'm going to read a bunch of this, like 2 pages. So it says, however, not all mythologies had the dualistic quality of Zoroastrianism. Among the Greeks, for instance, there was no single deity who personified evil. Not even Hades, ruler of the underworld, was evil. He was no Christian devil ruling over the souls of the damned in hell, but merely the ruler of the... So being dead's not necessarily evil. Evidently, the Greeks did not need a devil because there is no god to whom is ascribed the origin of all good things. Instead, each deity in Greek mythology is capable of both good and evil. So the Greek gods quarrel with each other outrageously, are often petty and self-seeking, are prone to jealousy, rage, and plotting. Each of them is capable of showering blessings upon needy mankind, but especially if their worship has been neglected, they are just as apt to be destructive. The fact is that the gods and goddesses care much about human life one way or the other, but they are vain enough to want their share of attention. I don't know this story. Only Asclepius, god of healing, who was a mortal man to begin with and not one of the Olympiads, can be said to be a deity who concerned herself with the welfare of mankind, though mention must also be made of the Titan, whose devotion to mankind led him to steal fire from heaven and suffer a cruel punishment from Zeus as a consequence. What was the punishment? Oh, did he burn up or something? But these are rare, except like fucking. Never mind. Let's compare him to a crackhead, right? But these are rare exceptions among a pantheon of deities. Richard Pryor. But these are rare exceptions among a pantheon of deities, singularly and undistinguished in their overall concern for human welfare. With such a pantheon of gods and goddesses, each of whom is sometimes good and sometimes bad as far as human beings are concerned, there is no need for a devil who personifies the evil principle. Okay, this is where it gets good. It's talking about us. American Indian mythology is unique in that it embodies both monotheistic and polytheistic elements. There was an almost universal belief among the Indians of what is now the United States in a great spirit whose power and authority were supreme over all life. Lesser deities, mankind, and all of nature were under the ultimate rule of the Great Spirit who was beneficent and just. Now remember that we're all speaking and writing in English here. So you translate it back and we're going to have different words and shit, but in English you would say Great Spirit. Right? However, the qualities of the Great Spirit were only vaguely defined, and while he was beneficent, he also left the actual running of the created world largely up to a variety of lesser spirits of ethereomorphic nature. So English isn't really good at handling things that are neither he nor she. French, everything is either he or she. English, a lot of times is neutral, but they're not good at handling things that could be both. In Micmac, it's Gizot. And the gender is never defined. It's just never defined. It's not male or female. It's just never defined. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is it? If there's something moving over there, that means there's a mouse or a rat in here, man. These lesser spirits were spirit powers who directed the actual workings of the universe and nature, and man must constantly ask for their help and guidance. That's, again, this is very like white man Christian. Must constantly ask for help and guidance. It's not how we see it. Oh, this is where you guys pray, God, please do this. No. God gave me all this. Gazul, Wumta, saying, I'll be good. The caffeine and sugar, that all comes from here, too. It's all indigenous. The chocolate is fucking African. From contact with one or more of these autonomous spirits, a man or woman might gain quote-unquote medicine. Everything else is capitalized, no quotes. This says quote-unquote medicine with a small m for his or her life. For the most part, didn't I not just say medicines? Although I did read this 10 seconds ago, right? For the most part, they were beneficent powers, but some of them were responsible for evil as well. Wendigo. The Indians believed man constructive and destructive forces, a world of elements that were helpful to man, but also were inimical to him. Nature, the Indians knew, showered her blessings upon needy mankind, but could also be cruel. Sometimes the evil power in Indian mythology was simply a personification or abstraction of the destructive side of nature. There's an earthquake that happened in the late 1800s in, I think it was Nova Scotia, and they say that Glooskap touched the mountain, and the white people are like, what the fuck are you crazy Indians talking about? Fucking, you eat too many mushrooms, eating dogs and shit, what's wrong with you? They argue with us for 100 and some years, and they go through the geological record, which means digging into the ground and looking at the rocks, and find out there was an earthquake. Well, we didn't call it an earthquake. The fuck's an earthquake? All we know is the land where we live moves all the time. It's not solid bedrock like Ontario. It's fucking hollow. Oh, we're gonna put dynamite in there and get gas out. Yeah, you're gonna kill us all and fucking make a big huge hole in the ground, eh? Stupid, get out of here. That's why we shoot at the fucking cops when they come to try to do that, eh? Oh, it's just some explosives we're gonna put in your water supply. No, you're not. Get the fuck out of here. 2013, October. We'll look it up. 7 years ago. They don't talk about it, do they? No, we shot up the fucking cop cars, set them on fire. Pussy holes. Judge says we can't prove you did that, but if you say you did it, we'll give you time served. The guy did like 7 months or something. You get 7 months for shooting up the cops? But in your jurisdiction? That's our land, nigga. That ain't Canada. That's ours. It is Canada. It's not government of Canada. It's like two different things that go on. People don't understand. So I don't know nothing about this story, but it's what it says. Sometimes evil. Where the fuck am I? Sometimes the evil power in Indian mythology was simply a personification or abstraction of the destructive side of nature. Among the Iroquois, for instance, there was the recognition of a perpetual struggle between the god of life, who caused nature to be warm, fertile, and bountiful, and Stony Coat, also in quotes for some reason, but it's capitalized, the god of ice and winter, whose function was to destroy. I don't know nothing about this story, but I'm not Iroquois. But Stony Coat was not an Ahriman, which is some other Greek god I don't give a fuck about, seeking to destroy the moral fiber of man's soul and pitted in a desperate struggle to win power over all the universe. Rather, he seemed to be simply the dark, unrelenting, and cruel side of nature. Stony Coat was the Iroquois way of personifying their belief that life was a constant struggle between light and darkness, good fortune and bad. However, the Indians sometimes did assign the origin of good things to certain spiritual beings and evil things to another. So they frequently told myths. Granted, the title of the chapter is Evil in Mythology, Greek mythology. Call it a myth if you want, because you're speaking English. Don't try and pretend that means it's not true. So they frequently told myths of the two brother gods who each embodied one side of life. I don't know nothing about this. Among the Algonquins, for instance, the hero god, Glooskap, had his evil wolf brother Malsum. Yeah, probably. I don't remember all the stories. Because they used to be on the radio and now they're not. So I remember the important ones. It was Glooskap who made, by the way, I see what he did here. It's spelled with a G. It should be a K, but it's pronounced as a G, so he spelled it with a G. Okay. Again, we're speaking English. So. It was Glooskap who made the pleasant places to live, the good food and beneficent animals, and the human race. I'm getting confused here. Gesult is the gut. Glooskap is trickster. I don't know none of these stories, and I don't know nothing about that Micmac story. I've never heard that, so I'm gonna cut it here and skip to the next part. In such stories, the Indians tried to. All these stories I'm not gonna read because I don't know if they're even real. I don't know that story. The fuck? Not the part I read, but the part I didn't read. Some weirdo shit. In such stories, the Indians tried to account for the obvious evil in the world. However, there was no single figure who opposed the Great Spirit, and no devil who deliberately tried to distort and win men's souls. The closest figure to a genuine devil would be the figure of trickster, Glooskap, a fascinating character in Indian tales and legends over most of the continent of North America. Variously called coyote, same-day, old man, raven, spider, wisagachak, rabbit, or wakjunkaga, and Glooskap. You've made up a story here. Trickster is says morally inferior being. I don't think so. Morally inferior being with ludicrous qualities. Okay, this is where it gets hilarious. In many tales, for instance, motherfucker. In many tales, fuck. Not doing cigarettes, and the weed is opening my lungs up because I have acute chest syndrome, and I can't cough because I appear to have what may be a cracked rib, or bruised rib, or something. It was way worse today than yesterday. That's how ribs are. In many tales, motherfucker. That's been coming out of my lungs for years. It's not COVID either. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. No, that ain't no prayer. That's a curse. Teachers told us all the time not to say it, so I said it more. The kid that used to say it all the time, his hair was curly and looked like North American black, I guess. He was so fucking pale, it's ridiculous. He had a Dutch last name. Couldn't explain how he had a Dutch last name. I know how. Anyway, he got to go to African studies. Anytime I even tried to ask about what that was, they'd like, shut up, you're not allowed. Like, the fuck? What's the difference between me and him? He's just as fucking pale as me. He's got a darker looking tone, but in terms of brightness, he's just as pale as me. This is the schools I went to. Oh, there's no anti-black racism? Oh, they don't want people to know people like us exist. Oh, half-breeds don't exist. Just like wigwams don't exist. Just like Glooskap is our god, our evil god, apparently. What she's not, so I don't... Or whatever the fuck. His evil wolf brother. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. The most evil thing we have is Glooskap, and he's not evil, so... We don't have this. That was the point I was trying to make. Blah, blah, blah. Trickster is a morally inferior, whatever, so they just put down Glooskap a second time, man. Being with ludicrous qualities. In many tales, for instance, he has a penis which he must sling over his shoulder as he travels along. Moreover, he can detach this penis from himself, and with this trick he engages in many sexual exploits and adventures of the sort usually forbidden to Indian men. Well, you don't know what's forbidden. We just tell you what we want you to know. Trickster has little conscience, but great mischievous power. He, more than anyone else, is responsible for the fact that the creation does not operate in a smooth manner. Yeah, that's true. He is, as it were, constantly throwing a monkey wrench into the otherwise good creation fashioned by the Great Spirit. By the way, monkey wrench is a racial epithet. Well, I'm not explaining it right now because we're on a different subject. Oh, fuck. However, he does this more by bumbling and foolishness than any deliberate, malevolent intentions, and is certainly not capable of any concerted effort to overcome the Great Spirit, as the Christian devil is able to do against God. Now, notice how dominant Christianity is to this guy. Great Spirit, capitalized. Christian, capitalized. God, capitalized. Devil, not capitalized. He capitalized all the other ones. Even the one he put in quotes, he capitalized. Loose cap, but he didn't capitalize devil. And now I could have sworn he did over here. Maybe not. Where is it? Hades is capitalized. Hell is capitalized. Devil is not. That's so dominant the Christianity is in this fucking book. You didn't notice that, eh? It's a character in Christianity. He's talking about all these different religions. How come that one's not capitalized if all the other characters are? Ours got quotes around it, but it was capitalized as a name. Somewhere here it says Beelzebub. I think that's capitalized, but I'm not sure. And it immediately says, oh, that means Lord of the Flies, to put it down more. I don't give a fuck what it means. It's not my line. Lord of the Flies, eh? Flies eat bodies, eh? You get rid of evidence. They are what eats the apex predator. Oh, apex, top. But it's a circle. It's not like a top 10 thing. It's a circle. However, he does this more by bumbling and foolishness than any deliberate malevolent intentions, and is certainly not capable of any, by the way, again, putting him down, not capable of any concerted effort to overcome the Great Spirit, as the Christian devil is able to do against God. So he's putting Christianity up while he's putting the devil. See, catch that? It's not about capable. The trickster doesn't have evil intention. The trickster, he wants to laugh. He wants to make you laugh. You notice it didn't say he's raping women. It said he's taking his dick off and weird shit. What's everybody afraid of the devil? Oh, he's going to rape you, right? And this is what I keep hearing from these white dudes. Yeah, I don't take in much of that fucking media. What I take in tells me I don't want no part of it. Moreover, sometimes trickster actually brings about a better state of affairs after his foolish actions, and occasionally, as in the Nez Perce creation story, Coyote and Monster, I don't know it, is actually a heroic figure benefiting mankind. In addition, he's usually a figure more fooled himself than fooling others. Yeah? As Shakespeare put it, more sinned against than sinning. As Shakespeare might have put it, would have put it, because Shakespeare and this shit what internet did you have, bro? And a figure who is laughable if not lovable. See how they put? You see the context they put it in? Shakespeare commented on American Indians, so that Shakespeare thought this of American. No, he didn't. He know nothing about Indians. There is then no deity in American Indian mythology who corresponds to the devil of Christianity and Zoroastrianism, and most Indians were perplexed. That's a good word. At the Christian idea of a satanic being. Again, satanic is not capitalized. Is Satan not one of his names? Now, Satanism is not devil worship. Satanism is worship of the self, which is not all that different from any other religion. You have to take care of yourself. It doesn't mean you get to do whatever you want to other people. It's looking out for number one first. It's not my religion, but I read the fucking book. Everybody's got comments. They don't read the fucking book. If a Satanist catches a rapist, they're gonna fucking kill him. They're not gonna join in and help rape. People got it all fucked up. Oh, what would a Christian do? Forgive them and go to the authorities. Because for some reason they do. I don't know how they adopted that out of what happened to Jesus, supposedly. Oh, and I said it before, this has nothing to do with Jesus. Creator told us, because this isn't all Indians, Micmac were specifically told to wear these, so we do. We were told to make them out of wood, but I can't be walking around with it. There is a wood one. I think it's going to be set aside for when I get married or something. I got white pants to get married in. I don't wear them because they're going to get filthy the first time I wear them. They're nice. They ain't going to fit nobody else, so. It doesn't mark me out as Christian, it marks me out as Micmac. Remember, you're on Micmac, well, over here you're on Mohawk land, but wherever a Micmac is Mi'kmaq, so you didn't know that, that's your confusion. To us, it's like, oh, you're also wearing our crosses, that's nice, you're adopting our ways. We don't, well, you must be one of those Christians. You got it backwards. I'm showing you the flag. Star and a crescent moon. I'm in so much pain, there's not much more to read, but I gotta roll the fucking joint. How much more is it? The hero god. Yeah, I always forget that word. Algonquin Park is way over here. So they call us Algonquin because of the word. They got all these classifications for us we don't have. So none of it really applies after the last 500 years because a lot of us are all mixed with new DNA. Oh, we were dominated by the white people. Nah. I'm supposed to be pretending I'm white, pretending I'm Christian. I got sickle cell. I'm supposed to pretend I'm white. I'm supposed to pretend Jesus was white. Read the descriptions in the Bible. Read it again. That's not a white guy they're describing. It's an old black man. White hair. Everybody's hair turns white. How many white people you know with white hair? The fucking old ones. Oh. I don't care what anybody thinks. I respect the hustle god, so they respect the hustle. That's not all drug money either. The money comes in, it's in 5 different ways. There's 3 ways, 5 ways, 7 ways. It doesn't matter. Multiple ways. Don't rely on any one source of income. Look at what's happening to all these one sources of income places. Look at Dollarama, essential business. Open, 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 open. Why? Because they sell a fucking 1,000 different things. We used to have 5 and dime stores. There was, discount, bargain stores, dollar stores. It's all the same fucking thing. You gotta have somewhere to buy those velvet Elvis prints and them stupid ceramic dogs and brass unicorns and crap. Yeah, you could look at what's in my house and try to judge, like, the auctioneers are, I got a book here somewhere. By job category, auctioneers are the most likely to be millionaires, and millionaires don't spend money the way people think they do. They drive used cars, big, made domestically, for example. Oh, fuck, that hurts. Oh, I got everything set up. I'm looking over here. I got everything set up. Oh. The weed worked on my lungs like I thought it would. But now every time I try to cough, my fucking ribs are fucked up. I'll be okay in a few days. So, Carmen, this is what I'm thinking right now. I grew up on a lot of comic books. Oh, comic books are something that like 30 to 40-year-old guys buy off the internet. They used to be like $1. Even less, you go back far enough. And because they knew kids read them, just like the cartoons, they always put ads like public service announcements in between the cartoons. And they tried to keep the normal, like the every day, every Saturday fucking cartoons lighthearted. Except for Sonic the Hedgehog. That was the darkest cartoon I've ever seen. There were 2 Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons. I'm not talking about the lighthearted kid one. What's he talking? It's a dark one, man. So I've talked about the Spider-Man comic, the anti-drug comic. There was another one. I'm pretty sure it's a totally separate issue. Yeah, well, it had to be. They always sometimes put 2 stories in or whatever. I forget the exact details. Some evilness, evil, some embodiment of evil. Of course, they're dark, shadowy figures, whatever. Takes over the city, and everybody goes crazy. You know, what occurs to me right now is fucking, okay, Peter Parker and, is her name Mary Jane, for real? Anyway, for some reason, he leaves her alone in the fucking apartment. She's already been told not to do what she does. She pulls out the propane heater, which I guess I didn't know anybody that had one as a kid. This is my first understanding of these fucking things. He said, oh, we went out to the country, did all sorts of things. I never saw a propane heater. Here's the problem. People don't buy things because they think it might be dangerous, so the kids grow up not seeing them, not knowing what it is. Pulls out the propane heater, fuck it was, and fucking turns it on in the apartment. You already go, oh, no. No, she's already been told not to do this. And he comes back just in time to save her, and they got the public service message in there. We're not running propane appliances in the house. That's same as, they can't openly tell you, oh, the Ruskies, the commies might drop nuclear bombs, you gotta hide under your desk. They can't do it that way. They know that way doesn't work. All it does is traumatize the kids. Now you got little kids, something bad happens, they gotta be locked in the house, shelter in place, and for whatever reason there's no adults there. Oh, it's cold? Oh, I know how to start the barbecue. No, don't do that. They put these messages out. Look at the messages they hide in the fucking books for adults. That's why I'm always looking at the hockey puck. See, that's why I had to weigh that hockey puck. Just from Slovakia, eh? What kind of drugs would come from Slovakia to here? Heroin or something? Probably. But there might be like a couple grams of heroin in that hockey puck. What am I talking about? Oh, they had an anti-drug Spider-Man. And for some reason, they had to put this extra fucking detail in the plot. They didn't just have drugs for sale. They fucking had drugs in hockey. And the funniest thing, they're always fucking saying, oh, people are going to offer you drugs. Just say no. Not in this comic. The kid pulls out the fucking hockey puck, and there's 4 kids there, and one of them he knows, and they do drugs together. What are the drugs? I don't know. There was like a pill and a baggie and I don't know, a needle, and I don't know what the fuck. It was like a picture of drugs. And they're going to go off and do their drugs. And the other 2 kids, I guess, didn't grow up in the ghetto, don't know that it's not their fucking business. Say, oh, you can keep our share. Who the fuck said any of it was yours? Swear to God, that's what they didn't say fuck, but that's what the fuck is this. That's real life. Don't go fucking say, oh, we don't want ours. Don't stick your nose in their business. Oh, just say no, just say no. Who the fuck was speaking to you, you little fuckies? I never had to say no thanks. No crack dealer was ever trying to offer me crack. Ever. Not where I grew up. But everywhere else, they only made it known that they had it. So there's no pushing of crack. You say crack, they either want it or they don't. There's no fucking, all that shit's fucking made up to evil, evil drug dealers. Honestly, they're basically performing the function of a vending machine / coffee counter. Can I get another 20 ounces of that Colombian, please? Can I get another $20 of that Colombian, please? It's the same thing. Venti. You go to Starbucks. Venti, venti, venti. I didn't know until recently. That means 20. I didn't fucking know. Can I get an extra large? You mean venti? Venti? Yeah, I'm a junkie. I need my fucking... You tell me whatever word you want me to call it. I'll call it that. Yeah, man. Can I get another... Can I get a... I need another venti, man. I need another... $2 to 20 ounces, $20 to 2 grams. It's all the same shit. Evil, evil drug dealers. Yeah, well, people keep walking up to you with money or keep knocking on your door with money. Eventually, you're just going to do it. Oh, you're hungry. Somebody's holding money out to you. It gets as bad as people saying, here, I'll give you 20 bucks for whatever you want, and I just want 20 bucks of what you can get me. They know we're not us. When you keep saying, no, I don't have that, they know you're not trying to rip them off because you would have said, yeah, and taken the money and ran. Totally different thing. Now they're just trying to talk you into doing them a favor. They're willing to compensate for the time. Where do you think all these drug dealers come from? You see people fighting hard to be drug dealers, and oh, it's a hard business, don't make no money whatsoever. Got to keep them supplied. Why? Why would you? You wouldn't. You would put up with those people if there's no money in it. And do you have like that thing about crack dealers hate crackheads and crackheads hate crack dealers? It's not like that. They're both just performing a function in each other's lives. You're not going to talk to crackhead into not doing crack. I don't talk to them into smoking weed. I'm the last resort. I say, listen, if you want, I can get you this. Oh yeah, they spend the next day smoking weed instead of crack. They live longer, clears their lungs up. Oh, the crack dealers are going to be mad. You took their... No, they live longer. They get a break from these fucking idiots for a day. You get right back on track. What the fuck? It's not my fault. I can't tell them what to do. Oh, now tell the police, go arrest me for just admitting all that. Okay, you want to arrest the crack dealers? You mean arrest us all? You arrest us all at once. You keep telling me, they keep telling me that they're going to find crack on me. They're going to find crack on me. Yeah, that's a threat, eh? And they let me know in fucked up ways too. Von Nguyen out of 14 Division. Not a Van Nguyen. My bad. I don't know how he got Van on the first part of the name, Nguyen on the last, and he looks like a white guy. He don't look Dutch or fucking Vietnamese. I don't know what the fuck he is. Some fucking white guy walks up to me, puts his hands in my. There's a crackhead fucking stumbling up the street drunk. The cop jumps out of his car, walks up to me, and puts his hands in my pocket. No, we weren't just talking to each other or did anything or anything. We're walking separately up the street. We're walking in the same direction on the same street. I'm in my lane, he's in his. Fucking, the cop walks up to me, puts his hand in my pockets here on the jacket. Very convenient. Not for drugs. I wouldn't put drugs in there. Why would I put drugs in there? Someone could reach in and take them. Motherfucker puts his hand in my pockets, telling me he's gonna find crack. That means he's got crack in his hand. He's gonna fucking tell me he found it in my pocket. No, he didn't do it that time. He's letting me know they're gonna do that because they've already told me dozens of times. Well, maybe not dozens. At that point, they let me know a few times they were going to find crack on me. Really? What about all the weed and the illegal cigarettes? How are you gonna explain that to the judge? Oh, are those gonna disappear? Okay, so all you're gonna have is a crack case. Make up your mind. That's not gonna work. That's why I don't care about having a record for weed. Well, Your Honor, he did this and he did that and he did this. Well, how come he's got all these charges for weed? All of a sudden he's a fucking completely different person. Oh, he was racist against a brown-skinned Caucasian man. Really? He has a tan? He doesn't have a tan. He's as pale as me. He's as pale as me. His hair's black. My hair's sort of, well, I got a bunch of different colors, but it passes as brown. It's for fucking decades of been screaming, we're Caucasian. I know that. When the cops come, you're white. I picked on you because you're white. That's funny because you picked on me for not acting white and flirting with your white cashier who somehow gets to complain about that. What the fuck you working at a grocery store in a black neighborhood, bitch? The fuck did you even come from? Oh yeah, I got it with my face in pain, my neck, everything fucked up. Yeah, it's one of these fucking Asian assassin fucking property fucking what we're doing is there fucking they don't give a fuck about their way behind them when the guns come out. That's what happened at the steakhouse. You think they were aiming for the girl? They weren't expecting them to do that. We don't do that. Nobody's expecting that. Everybody else got hurt by glass. Why? Because the restaurants and bars here refuse to use shatterproof glass. What do we cook crack in? Pyrex. We use any type of glass in the world. We use Pyrex. Why? Because it don't break. What do they smoke crack in? Pyrex, because it don't break. What do you serve alcohol in when people get drunk and fucking aggressive and shit? Oh, I do it all the time. I smash bottles all the time when people get aggressive with me. What do you think I collect all them bottles? Keep an eye where they are. Where do you think all them razors come from? The ground. I find all them on the ground. I don't buy that shit. That's why they're all different and all rusty in different ways and shit. These shatterproof glasses, if a bullet did hit it, You get safety, like little square safety glass, like a windshield. That was in the 90s. They made that a lot in, I don't know now, but as far as I know, they made it a lot in Britain and Scotland, Northern Ireland, UK, whatever you want to call it. Oh, you want to serve alcohol to these people? You got to use shatterproof glass. Very simple. Oh, it costs more. It costs more, eh? How often do you replace shattered glass? Now the glass has to be handled as dangerous goods by the garbage man and everything else. You got to put it in cardboard or some bullshit. Many days, months, years since somebody shattered a glass in or some shit. Not the places with the Pyrex, the places with the regular shit. What is fucking people always say, oh yeah, it's a fucking bitch telling me, oh, now I'm talking, even though I don't want to talk. Yeah, and they fucking do shit. They won't give me my receipt, and they always try to sell me bags. Like, oh, you want bags? Ding, 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 ding. No, I don't. No, no, no. Oh, why are you yelling at me? You're yelling at me for not speaking loud enough. Now you're yelling at me for raising my voice. The fuck? Why are you running a cash register? Fucking. Oh, you need to just did right there. I can't do 9 days at a time. When you see my head wobbling side to side, because my face feels like I got hit with a brick. Oh, do it like this, do it like that. Somehow, some fucking caucasoid bitch at the back of the line says something. I made it racial. I didn't make it racial. She's the girlfriend of a gangbanger. She thinks she's tough, and she tried to take cigarettes from me. I put them down. She grabbed them. You're at work with 6 cameras on you. You try to steal cigarettes from me? Are you that stupid? Your boyfriend gonna come shoot me up if I put my fingers on you? I'll bust all your teeth out your mouth, bitch. Yeah, at work, cash register, grocery store, try to steal cigarettes from me. You fucking stupid. That's Mohawk money. More manager before, and I assume now, because he's a different manager, is aware enough of where his store is that people from different gangs go grocery shopping. We just go on different days and different hours, that's all. They're aware. They know when someone fucking does something that's stupid. They can't have that person working for them. You can't shut your mouth and just take his money? You think he didn't know who you were when he came in? You're the only cashier open. Shut your fucking mouth, stupid. Yeah, she tried to take the cigarettes and fucking get mouthy with me. Oh, I keep bitching about the same stores. I shop in the same stores. It's not the same people. It's the same managers. It's not the same fucking idiots. How fucking, how much of white supremacism is on women? About 50%. They don't catch none of the blame. You know, the next person over here, I'm already put my stuff down on the thing. Go turns to me, you're a person. That's the new thing that the KKK and the Aryan Brotherhood does, eh? Black people are really people. They put it on chats and things because the AI doesn't understand how racist that is. If I'm telling you you're a person, I'm saying you're not a person. You are, it's inherent, right? Because they said, oh, you're allowed to go to restaurants now with white people. All of a sudden, that would set off the AI. They said black people are really people. The AI thinks you left out a word or something. Really what? You know, it doesn't look like a complete sentence. It's racist as hell. You're a person. I'm going to break your nose, you ugly bitch. I know I have a genetic disorder that makes me this pale. Do you know you're inbred? I have a genetic disorder that means I'm not inbred. You are from a race of people that for about 2,000 years has been inbreeding. Period. So they're called blank. The only language where it's white is English. Everywhere else, blank, blanco. Your DNA is blank. You got to mix it with something for the fucking baby to have features. You're missing features. That's why you look all lopsided and shit. You all look lopsided as hell, man. I don't care if people think it's racist either, man. I'm allowed to fucking not want to have sex with you. I don't want to have sex with you. Yeah, my whole life I'm being told by white people how much I want to have sex with them. I'm not even joking, man. literally in those words half the fucking time. The fuck away from me. Whatever white people were in my background 400 years ago, we've not been white for at least 400 years on both sides. I know my fucking background. People all talk a lot of shit. We don't work and we don't do this and we don't do that. Everything you have is because of us. We touch it first, we build it, we dig the holes that your houses are built on and your fucking tombstones go on top of. Van den Kerkhoff. What does that mean? Stupid. It means I'm the product of the slave master and the slave. It means we dig holes and put bodies in. Who does that work? White people? Not if you got some niggers around, why would white people do it? Why would white people work with cows? They wouldn't. That's animals, that's lowly. We're here to dominate the, what do they call it in the Bible? The lower beings or whatever. No, I don't know none of these religions, I don't have to study that shit. They hate that too. They like throwing Bible. There's two things going on. They like using subtle Bible references to put like messages out there. Like, I'll be too stupid to know. When they find out that I don't give a fuck about the religions, they think I don't know anything about them. So they try to subtly either insult me or say something evil or whatever. And at the same point, they get mad when I don't know about who the fuck all the people in these stories are. No, the word Lord in here means shepherd. Oh, how come you keep saying it means God? That's really, I'm the landlord, I'm this and that. No, you're not. I'm the overlord, I'm the warlord. That just means it's no different than chief or manager. Where the fuck do you get God from that? It says right in there that God said not to pray to anything before me. Then it says Jesus is a person. Then it says you have to pray to Jesus. On the same goddamn page, it says that. That's just a leak. That's perfect timing. I wasn't leaking like that in January. No, the idiot fucking superintendent. His title is superintendent. I don't fucking know who the fuck he is. Cranked it with a wrench. You have to do this, you have to do that, and you have to move this, because I'm not coming back in here. You're not coming back in here? Good. Stupid. Oh, what am I going to do? Complain about him? No, I'm just going to do the work myself. I'm going to go get the fucking property manager to give me the part. And the fuck, I think I got the wrenches in it. Fucking swap it out and fuck him. I'm going to show them they don't even need them. Oh, I'm supposed to complain and get mad. I'm supposed to do what he wants, make my house up to his standard. Come in here. No. Fuck off. Who cleans up after you, buddy? Shut the fuck up. Think the mafioso don't see that? Stupid. You're not Italian. They don't like you. You're the same race as their competitors. They don't like you. Stupid. That's why you fucking... He's not a plumber for hire getting $400 an hour. I'll fucking try to read that, but honestly, I'm gonna not do it justice at the moment. I think I read enough to prove some points. Oh, shit. Everything I do is to make it obvious what I'm doing. People still don't get it. Black Cross, what's that? Medical, it's weed. Plus for niggers in the army. Oh, that gets special mention, doesn't it? If you could have wiped that from history, you would have. You could, because they have dark skin. In the photos of my relatives, they might have light skin. They won't be marked out as servant. Oh, 2 black men invented the phone. Had nothing to do with Alexander Graham Bell, eh? Oh, I should be mad. We should change the name. No, Bell Canada. What do you do when you dial the phone? The bell rings, eh? Yeah, we stole your name. Oh, you put your name on us. Well, we stole your name. He was wearing dog tags. Oh, I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. Okay, I'm wearing a dog tag. What's it mean? I don't know. You're an idiot. Okay, thanks. Sorry, native. There's Wumta. There's Wumta. Well, I'm not always standing there smoking a joint and the shit don't smell. You see me smoking cigarettes, that's Sama. Everybody already knows that. The government didn't touch none of this stuff. And the only way they're going to is if you get it and bring it to them, eh? All black, everything. 3 in the morning on a Saturday. Great. In the middle of a lockdown. Shut down. There's nothing going on. It's the top of the hour. I need some distraction. I know what I want. I know what I want.
Here coming nigga from the hood, trying to make a buck for myself in the hood. If I could sell a piece to a priest, then I would. Cause I'm about my paper, dog, it's all good. When I roll up my dough up, cocky like Rocky Balboa. Product that a devil gon' blow up, stacking higher than the Twin Towers. Blow up on the scene like the fucking 2 towers. All I want in life is a fucking money shower. So what I cop a month is a big cold power. My eyes low faded, smart got raided. One never get got from a pig made it. Laughing at these suckers, it's all smooth sailing. Patron in my cup, in the cut where a motherfucker toasted. Puff another blunt to be toasted. If a motherfucker head, then we rolling, rolling, rolling. So much money, so much riches. All my life I've been thug living. Got the first to pick, and then it's on. Tell my baby mama I ain't never coming home. So much money, so much bitches. All my life
he calls himself product of the devil, but he don't believe in the devil. Think about that. They're all wearing crosses, but they're not mismatched or Christian.
Toys in the hood, house party bumps make noise in the hood. When I think back, dollar sign, blink that. I'm the bitch with a fat ass, I'm the master. Sitting in the cell, strong like an aster. Living in the hell, but my seed not a bastard. Only keep it gangster, lane up the faster. Product of the devil, bass be the crack in the coke, be the treble. Personifying naysaying, and I don't give a fuck if you don't understand. I'm on another level. You can't tell me nothing, but try and tell me something. Why the fuck you hit when I'm rolling by something? Probably cause you putting big things in your frontin'. Cheers to my haters, cheers to my dog. Life of a gangster, playing till I ball. Trying to stay on top till a motherfucker fall. So much money, so much riches. All my life I've been thug living. Got the first to pick, and then it's on. Tell my baby mama I ain't never coming home. So much money, so much bitches. All my life I've been straight tripping. Got the first to pick, and then it's on. Tell them in the peace I ain't never coming home. Stole for a heater, now I pack a heater. Money coming quicker than a motherfucking cheetah. Fresh to death, sipping the blood, sitting with a couple sexy senoritas. I'm a soul
soldier.
All black everything.
I'm the poser. Living and giving a fuck the weight of the world on my shoulder. Having the city, where he wolves if I was sheep, I don't feel no pity. Gotta feed a fucking kitty ever since I was nitty bitty kitty. Trying to make a fucking buck, going time by a flizzy. Grind for the grizzly, workers be busy. Purple, so got my murky, I'm dizzy. Faded, so I'm gon' get laid in the city. Packing my heater in case I get so much money, so much riches. All my life I've been thug living, not to birth to brick, and then it's all. So my baby mama, I ain't never coming home. So much money, so much bitches. All my life I've been straight shipping, not to birth to brick, and then it's all. So I'm in the beast, I ain't never coming home. Thug living, thug living, thug living.
The fucking thing with the white girl. Fucking store man. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you and drag you out the store. Turns into me being a racist hate criminal against him. He's white and I'm not. I'm black. Your status guy. How the fuck is he? How the fuck is he the minority? He's white.
Closely you can see the truth in my eyes. Back in junior high,
two Scottish cops because their whole fucking bloodline is cops. You have to be Scottish and 6 foot to be a police officer in Toronto. I'm Scottish. And I just threw that policeman in there like I made it up there. 500 years back.
I roll my week with pages of rip from the Bible. I'm a sinner, all I know is survival. Keep 6 bucks to 5-0. Jack me nimble, Jack be quick. Jack better give me your shit before I light him up like a candlestick. Got some killers on my team, they ain't even 18. Day and night, pulling chicken, serving beans. Like I don't give a fuck. One time wanna lock me up. Go hard till I'm dead and gone. Go hard till I'm dead and gone. Live life like I don't give a fuck. One time wanna lock me up. Go hard till I'm dead and gone. Go hard till I'm dead and gone. I've been living life like this since a little kid. Could've made a movie off all the shit I did. Count so much money, turn your fingers black. Shit so good, I'm making it way back.
That's why we put it into back in the day. We didn't use rubber bands, we used Ziploc bags. And then the government started using them blue rubber bands for the mail. You get stacks of mail. You get money, you spend money, you get bills, and then you get stacks. The money fits perfectly into a Ziploc bag. These fucking countries designed for us. Everything in this country is designed for us.
Either it's life or mine, and I ain't dying today. Rather pull the trigger back and watch the soul fly away. Watch the soul fly away, bye-bye.
Canada and the United States. Where coins are all the same.
One time wanna lock me
I want that economy to always run on every level.
Go hard till I'm dead and gone. Live life like I don't give a fuck. One time wanna lock me up. Go hard till I'm dead and gone. Go hard till I'm dead and gone.
Can't read enough Spanish to know exactly what this book is about. It's Necrophilia, Filica, and Pan de Muerto. I don't know how I find that. I found that in a fucking one of those kids' free little libraries. Why are you putting that in a kid's free little area? I'm weird for looking at those things. That shit right there is why I find it. Red Scouts, Packers.
Got a problem, load the weapon, that's how you solve it, that's what it taught to me. And it's how your face don't bother me. Put me in the direction where the bottle be. Gifted just how I was born to be. Some come to this world with diamonds and pearls, some come to poverty. With no one to teach us right and wrong, how could you say that we wrong? This is all we know, so gotta be right. Or maybe it's left, but it's all we got left. Love to the ones that knew me, you fuck the rest, I mean it. And she know, but I walk up this door, it might be for the last time. They say the stars bring the brightest right before they die. That's why I tell her I love her just in case the day my day to shine. Father, forgive me for I sin, and I feel I probably sin again. Tell me whose blood is this on my hands, cause I can't remember. And when my night go, I let it in the river. My thugs, pump drugs, dump slugs, grave stuff. If you want a bit to be ready to kill for it, all my thugs, pump drugs, dump slugs, grave stuff. Nah, you ain't one of us. You want a bit to be ready to die for it. You want a bit to be ready to die for it. That early morning hustler shit.
Cocaine in the pot, stirring till it's thick. Throw some ice in the mix and shock it. That's how you rock that shit. Now here comes the magic.
How come everybody in the brothers are tattoo artists? There's no kids, man. Engraved metal, stupid. Electroplate, fucking metal. Engraved metal. You have money in the ghetto.
In this motherfucker, know what I'm saying? Bet the streets gon' feel me. Know these cops that wanna kill me or confine me.
Getting tattoos. Metal everywhere. I need it engraved. People knows mine.
Y'all can kiss on my cock. This is something that you'll never stop. Every fuck with these tracks, even after I'm locked, even after my heart stops. I'm here to teach the next generation to say fuck the cops. Same way I was taught, yeah, same way I was taught. Yeah, fuck the cops, fuck the cops. Oh my God, pump drugs, dump slugs, great stuff. Nah, you ain't one of us. If you want it, better
why were the local police teaching kids how to smoke crack?
Ready to kill for it. All my thugs, pump drugs,
everything of the crack houses will have no part of it.
You want it, better be ready to die for it.
Oh, there's a shitload of crackheads in Parkdale. They're not from Parkdale. The kids that grow up in Parkdale don't touch that shit. You don't even sell it. They told us not to fuck with it, so we don't. You gonna listen to you? No, I'm gonna listen to the man on the corner. They used to always promote how drug experimentation was normal. That's a pretty liberal fucking thing. That's progressively liberal.
Gang life record. Yeah. We ain't going nowhere. We here to stay, motherfucker. We all win a pay.
They tried to get us to do every fucked up thing possible. They literally tried to force me to learn a new language from scratch, basically. I don't know fucking English grammar. I couldn't tell you one fucking rule of English grammar.
Yeah, I came
from fucking home.
Just a young age, I've been on my own.
These fucking people are
idiots. See myself sinning, doomed from the start. You fuck from the beginning. I got work today and I'm already late. Probably ain't gonna make it. Give me a chance and I'm gonna take it. Yeah, I'm out in a pirate. I put my hopes and dreams inside pirates and turn the stove on. A life like this is hard to carry on. My family don't get what they need until the work gone. I know where to find the devil. That ain't hard. For some reason I still ain't found God. Lost soul walking with the dance.
But we don't believe in the devil. Think about that. Some white man's made up creation we can find. Think about
this life got me dreaming about a better way. Nah. I'm a realist, I know nothing gon' change. Yeah. Gang life got me dreaming about a better way. Nah. I'm a realist, I know nothing gon' change. Yeah. This life got me dreaming about a better way. Nah. I'm a realist, I know nothing gon' change. Yeah. Gang life got me dreaming about a better way. Nah. I'm a realist, I know nothing gon' change. Yeah.
Ain't nothing changed, doing shit the same way every day. On lockdown, still make the same thing.
Go to text, still waiting for a reply. I daydream a lot, dreaming of the day I won't have a scheme and plot. Not ready for the grave yet, not ready for that box. Yeah, life in the slums, it ain't much, but it's where we wrong. God love it, steady dog, see the cops, me mugging middle finger up and fuck them. Another day in the life, the way
they hate us.
Make it alright, just sit home in your kite. Yeah, I miss my dog.
No matter what, oh, maybe if you did this or that. You didn't hang out with who you hang out with. Who do I hang out with? Oh, you know.
I'm just trying to feed myself in these troubled times.
Oh, you know what happens to white boys when they go to jail? No. Nigga for life, stupid. These white boy cops. They're gonna tell everybody that you passed a private career college. You're a high school graduate. Shut up. I'm the first one in a long line that didn't go to secondary. Because they fucked me on the language. That's the only reason why.
Nothing gonna change. Yeah.
If they had fucked me on the language, I would have been fine. I didn't have problems in school. They started telling me, oh, your marks suck. Yeah, I don't know the language. I can't see the board, and you won't let me near the board. And I don't know the language. They literally did every fucking thing they could. You look on paper, oh, the teachers say this about you, teachers say that about you. Yeah, they hate me because I won't pretend I'm white. Oh, and I know the answers to stuff without having to look in the back of their book like they have to. You know how mad a teacher gets when you correct them and you're right? Do that twice. Your fucking whole school year's fucked. Oh, they hate that. $96,000 a year isn't enough? You gotta fuck up my life because you don't like smart niggers? Oh, you look white, you're black, and you're smart? We're gonna kill you. Some of these schools, I wasn't allowed to go into the cafeteria, the schoolyard, anywhere. On recess and lunch, I was required to sit in the office. Yeah, the nigger has to be separated. Why? Because when the white kids and racists, even the half-breeds that think, oh, I'm more white than black. Oh, okay, you say so. The law don't say so. Well, I'm racist. That's a race traitor, but I'm racist. Fucking, when they try to attack me and I fucking injure them, I won't stop hitting them back. Like, I won't stop hitting them back when they hit me. So I have to be segregated. How come these other people aren't? So you know what they're doing. You know who they are because they're making a complaint about me, but you're not going to stop them. But I have to be segregated. But am I being officially kicked out of school or suspended? No, no, we don't want a record. That's the type of shit they were doing before they switched. They did the language things thinking that would just break me. Oh, I'll just turn English and white now. I don't know. The teachers they gave me after that were fucking retarded. Like, so fucking white, it was insane. Telling me no such thing as yelling at me more than once. There's no such thing as wigwams. They came from Hollywood. They're made up. They always use the word aboriginal. You know what that means? Not original. Why the fuck would I use it? Yeah, I'm smart enough. I know enough Latin to know that word means not original. I'm not fucking stupid, eh? I'd sooner be called nigger than aboriginal or native. Doesn't exist. Made up. Hollywood. Doesn't exist. What is a wigwam? I just want to talk about that. Oh, that's just something that sort of happened once a long time ago to some random Indians. Yeah, my people specifically, the Micmac specifically. This is the shit I get growing up here. Oh, we're teaching you about Aboriginals. We teach you all about the Huron. They live in long houses and grew the Three Sisters. That's all I know. They mention nothing about tobacco or the Tuscarora. They don't mention nothing. Nobody knows who the Tuscarora are, eh? Oh, they're not half black, half Indian. They're half black, half Indian people going back 250 years or some shit in this area. But all the money we made forcing niggers to grow hemp. Hemp is bad. You don't have nothing to do with it. Oh, they hate hearing that. Who assaulted me? And then the security guard assaulted me, all in front of witnesses and cameras. Why are you being racist? We don't use that word here. What? Like, I don't use the word racist. I didn't ask you if you used the word racist. This shit's real. This is the shit I really go through. It's kind of interesting. I've occasionally heard, while we're getting high and talking shit, I've occasionally heard, oh, I would love to be white for a day or whatever, shit like that, along those lines. Because they're sick of being treated like shit for what they are. You didn't know what they were, you treat them different, and I'm the proof of that. And then I got to explain to them, yeah, there's that side to it. If I walk up to the bank or the government office, they just assume I'm white. They don't ask, so I don't tell them. Why would I? I'm there to get money or whatever. I'm not there to fucking prove a point there. Fucking, I gotta tell them about all the other types of racism there are. I gotta tell them there's natives that hate other natives. It has nothing to do with white people either. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? I don't want that one. Why do I get to do what I want to do? Because I know the history between the Micmac and the Mohawk. So they know I'm a little crazy badass too. And I know they are too. And they know I didn't get born here on purpose. I don't live like the white people here. That was the deal we made with the white people that we saved. The 15 that survived the first year. Again, my people specifically. They don't want to talk about that. That they would live here like we live and share the land with other people the way we did. That means new immigrants. Oh, you think natives hate immigration? No, we're just a little concerned about who's controlling who comes in, because they ain't really doing a good job of it. Oh, fuck. I don't go against their ways. Where do I move? Their products. Oh, where's the weed and cigarettes come from? Why do you think you can't figure it out? Stupid. Well, you should be buying it from white people. Why would I buy it from white people? The dumbest things in the world I hear from white people. Oh, you got to put in like $10,000 to a grow room just to get started. I'm never buying weed from you, bro. What do they grow? Shit. Oh, it looks pretty. It's all garbage. Telling me stories of a guy growing a whole room full of male plants and all this other weird shit. Oh, they buy the feminized seeds, then they kill the hermaphrodite plants. Well, you're not fucking solving no problem. Why are you buying feminized seeds? There is no such thing as feminized, by the way. It's the same shit they tried to do. Oh, we'll make it think it's female. Do you think it's gonna become female? It doesn't work. The trick is the male flowers. You put a paper bag over it, like a rubber band or something. Collect the pollen. Save that for later when you get a nice plant you want to turn to a mother plant, and you dust the pollen onto those female flowers, and they'll develop a bunch of seeds. From those seeds, whatever grows and doesn't grow will be the natural selection to give you the mother plant you're looking for. No, I can't lean on that arm. Hold on a second. What the fuck am I gonna do these? Oh, shit, that wasn't so bad. Oh no, it's still I think I'll make coffee. Fuck it.
Low because members are probably going to vote that way. The money at the end of the year still gets returned to the restaurant owners, right? They have a say in how it kind of operates.
Some existing delivery apps are already pivoting to address concerns. DoorDash is dropping commission fees by half.
Tell the Foodora guy not to pick his
offering
nose
rebates on fees. In Ottawa, Shelly Lee, City News.
A high-profile death from COVID-19. Veronica Thor has more on the death of a man who made his name on the Strip, working with tigers.
World-famous magician Roy Horn, one half of the famed Las Vegas act Siegfried and Roy, has died of COVID-19. The 75-year-old announced at the end of April that he tested positive for the virus. He died Friday in a Las Vegas hospital. Horn made headlines in 2003 when he was critically injured by one of the act's white tigers, who attacked during a performance at the Mirage Hotel Casino.
That's exactly what he was thinking when he died. The tigers can get this, and he's going to take care of them.
Ultimately ending the long-running production that attracted sold-out crowds. The German duo performed 6 shows a week together in Las Vegas. Siegfried wrote in an emotional post on social media, "Today, the world has lost one of the greats of magic, but I have lost my best friend. I'm Veronica Thor."
I thought the other one was already
dead. Reports coming up in 1 minute on All News Radio.
You might look at a
what happened to the other one a few years ago? One of them got fucking attacked by a tiger. Just like a dog with a stick in his head, eh?
Drug-free-kids-canada.org.
Drugs are a tiger leg.
That's enormous. How did these get through my slaves? What is Canada? Especially now. 37 million people united by one cause. You can always
look back. Look back. I got one of the kids.
Which is why Sobeys is donating to communities coast to coast. To further unite this family,
when I die, just give that can of water, my Blockbuster card, the keychain.
Sobeys, Canada's family grocery store.
Coronavirus.
You're the most fucking evil fucking.
On the Be the First to Know newsletter. Find them now at 680news.com/newsletters.
I'm Chris McCusker. If you're still working out the kinks in your work-at-home routine, you are not alone. Mark Saltzman is a tech expert and author, and he has been working from home for 25 years.
It can be challenging to work from home, as many millions of Canadians have now been forced to for the first time. But with a few simple tips and some good tech, of course, you can in fact excel in a home environment. I guess the first bit of advice would be to find a quiet spot, if you can, to minimize distractions and noise.
Oh, you mean where the computer, music, video machine is, and the cell phone?
Behind you, even better, because you can focus more on your work and minimize any sounds from kids or dogs. during a video call.
And a decent internet connection is key, especially for those video calls.
Of course, you need reliable Wi-Fi. So work closer to the router if you need to, or consider upgrading your internet to a faster tier of service, or pick up a new router. The new standard is called Wi-Fi 6. But your devices also need to be Wi-Fi 6 to take best advantage of that.
Well, none of that
pick up what's called a mesh system, which
what the
includes
fuck is Wi-Fi 6? I never heard of 5.32.
Argue a computer is a need to have.
You also suggest that people make the most of it.
Don't just survive, but find ways to thrive in this environment. You know, for many self-employed people, entrepreneurs, they're simply passing the time until things go back to normal. I mean, after all, we don't know how long we're in this for, and if things will ever go back
look
to
at
how it was exactly. So even though, of course, there are stressors at home, juggling your personal and professional life, and you're worried about the family getting sick and maybe bills and things like that, try if you can, without sounding too preachy, to take this time to make new connections online.
Mark Saltzman is a tech expert and author. And at the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
Lowe's would like to raise a hammer to everyone who got used to their new conference room.
What was that? We're looking at page 6 right now. We're talking about the projection for Q3. Is that clear?
You've made it to spring, and it's time to build that extra room outside. Find everything you need to build your dream backyard at Lowe's.ca and enjoy free parcel delivery and curbside pickup. Conditions apply. Lowe's. Make your yard your home. We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to know what culture you're advertising to? You call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you want. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. We're 2 men and a truck. We're open for business. 2 men and a truck, the movers who care. When you need to know, now,
680news.com.
Taking a look at the Saturday forecasts across the country. I'll tell you where I want to be. It's definitely in Vancouver, where we're expecting a partly cloudy sky. A high of 25 degrees, incredible. Calgary, partly cloudy. And 11. Edmonton, partly cloudy. And 12. Pretty well everywhere else across the country, it's going to be cloudy as well. Mostly cloudy. 8 in Regina. Cloudy and 6 degrees in Toronto. Similar conditions in Ottawa and in Montreal. Now to Atlantic Canada, where we're expecting a cloudy day, a high of 8 in Halifax.
Nice.
This is All News Radio.
Good morning, it's Saturday, May 9th. I'm Josh Ritchie. I'm Jared Launchbury. Here's what's making news right now. The unemployment rate is now the second highest in history. More than 3 million people are now without work because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Trudeau government's extending the federal aid for businesses. The emergency wage subsidy program will now go beyond the previous June cutoff. Another outbreak at one of our country's production lines, a dairy processing plant in Vaughan, Ontario, has seen a worker killed and nearly 24 infected. Getting tested for COVID-19 isn't easy. We're hearing from a woman who showed multiple symptoms almost a month ago, but is only now about to get checked out.
In sports, NBA teams get the green light to open up training facilities, while the Toronto Raptors will wait until Monday, March 45. And coming up in business, small businesses across Canada are doing what they can to weather the coronavirus pandemic. We'll hear from an expert on what companies need to consider as they work to move forward.
One time we went a whole month
These stories coming up in 1 minute on All News Radio.
Business in the ghetto before? Well, hey, it's $200 easy every sale. But
all lanes remain blocked at King
Road. What are we selling?
But once again, you will be diverted off at King Road if you're traveling northbound on the 400. Be careful on the roads north of the city. We are of there. The southbound 404 ramp onto the eastbound 401. It is shut down for overnight construction. All your major routes are up to speed. Next report at 3:41. Now let's check your forecast.
A very cold start here across the GTA to the weekend. Daytime highs running well off the seasonal mark, a high of 6 today. We are going to see some flurries through morning and midday and then into the afternoon.
So I've got
winds
multiple viral infections and a fucking pain condition. I don't know why my face
sky until the late afternoon with some sunshine.
People put out of work because of the pandemic. The unemployment rate spiking from 7.8% in March to 13% last month. The second highest total ever, only behind 13.1% unemployment in 1982. The federal government now choosing to extend its emergency wage subsidy program beyond its early June endpoint.
Nigel Newlove's getting reaction to the decision from the Canadian Federation of Independent Business and Canadian Chamber of Commerce.
The government hopes the wage subsidy and the Canadian Emergency Relief Benefit will keep Canadians on life support until the
business is allowed to reopen. Your uncle, he's on life support. Oh my God, what happened? He lost his job. Okay, why is he on life support?
The traveling job loss numbers don't come as a surprise to many, as some say there's a long road ahead. We talk to people in the admission period, and everything will be back.
You intend to smoke, you're going to have someone want to do it.
And recovery will be long and slow.
Honestly, this isn't the worst jobs losses our country has reported. Something otherwise, Jonathan Muma is speaking with an expert at the University of Calgary.
How is that even possible?
If you just look at the headline unemployment, official unemployment rate, so things were by that metric ever so slightly higher in the early 1980s.
That's U of C School of Public Policy economist Trevor Toon, who says that only paints part of the picture, which is why he created an effective unemployment rate, which is what the rate would be if people didn't withdraw from the labor force, and it included people who had employment but didn't work at all, which gives a national number
unemployed,
of 32%.
but I'm on disability.
If you look at the number of unemployed
I should have been able to find employment.
Surveyed by StatCan, the overwhelming majority of them are reporting that they're only temporarily laid off. That employment will return.
But that will only happen when we successfully control the spread of COVID-19. I'm Jonathan Mula.
Women have been majorly impacted by the pandemic. The Friday Jobs Report highlighting the hardship it's caused. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says looking ahead, supports for daycare will be needed to help women get back to work.
The importance of childcare has been yet again emphasized as we move towards an economic restarting. There needs to be more and secure childcare spaces for
you didn't think of
people
being insecure until you said that.
Stats Canada says forced this economic shutdown, job losses in this country have had a disproportionate impact on women, youth, and newcomers.
If we got the machine shut down, can we fix it?
Should have to go to work if they
You're just going to try to restart it without doing nothing.
We have put in many measures across various industries.
Guaranteed annual income.
Particularly around essential.
That would have made all this so simple. Everybody would have just had a set amount. We already know what we were going to do. What are you going to do? Well, the guaranteed annual income will kick in.
Businesses, orders of governments,
no, we can't have it that way. That'd be simple.
To ensure the safety
Look how many people there are on this system now.
To provide for the rest of us.
And how fucking up and down it is like
COVID-19 outbreak at one of our country's production lines. This one responsible for processing dairy products in Vaughan, Ontario. This one death at Vaughan Saputo Dairy Products was a York Region resident. 23 other employees have tested positive recently, and 5 of those are also residents of York Region. York Regional Public Health was alerted to the confirmed cases on April 29th, and they conducted an on-site investigation the following day. This location does not produce food, and it is not open to the public. The processing plant now has a reduced staff complement,
what do you process
as well as rigorous cleaning procedures in place and PPE for all staff.
This is what I'm talking about. The milk processing plant, everything's safe, everything's safe, because they don't process food. Wait a second, what? It's a milk processing plant. Yeah, they don't process food.
Just Slack joins us with more.
Alberta's Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Gina Hinshaw, says correctional officers directly led the inmate to the quarantine unit once the individual had arrived at the
officers, more than one. Why more than one? You can't run nowhere. There's 6 sets of doors, so all electric to get out.
He was admitted at the same time, and he also had no symptoms.
The person reported feeling unwell the following evening, and both the individual and the cellmate were placed in isolation.
Why are you putting people two at a time in anywhere?
COVID-19. Hinshaw explained most
place is half full. There's one per cell.
For 14 days once they arrived.
This added measure allows for increased monitoring of new admissions for the development of symptoms before moving them on to other living units.
I'm Jeff Slack. Every province is going to move at its own pace and relaxing restrictions. Nova Scotia's top doctors keeping a close eye on neighboring New Brunswick as that province gets ready to enter phase 2.
I'm anxious to
some of them don't have any guards on them.
In New Brunswick
is
some of them opening up. That will give us information that will be helpful to us, frankly, here in Nova Scotia, to inform some of the steps when we're
rolling. That's why I don't know shit. I go straight to segregation.
Phase would see non-essential businesses open and allow daycares to resume along with non-urgent healthcare services, like some-day surgeries and doctor visits. When will we see the return of Hollywood North? We're talking about a local film industry executive of problems linked to quarantine rules.
The president of Vancouver Film Studios, Pete Mitchell, says instead of self-isolating for 2 weeks, American actors, producers, and directors need to work in Canada
may only need to wait 2 days if they get tested for COVID-19.
It's those kinds of mechanisms that we're looking for to make the border, as they say, thinner.
That's why he's hoping the federal government will agree to lift some industry-related border restrictions.
If you look at the way that the federal government moved, how quickly they moved to get money out to people out of work, it's unprecedented.
Mitchell adds 80% of more than $3 billion worth of investment in BC every year is foreign-based. I'm Marcella Bernardo.
Yeah, everything in BC is foreign-based. That's why their economy falls apart all the time. Why people rip them off, $1.60 a liter for gas.
Unfortunately, a
dumb
lot of
enough
people
to pay.
with symptoms are being left in COVID-19 limbo. We're hearing
Look
from
at
a
how
woman
much the
who's been
prices
trying
of
to
real
get
estate
tested
are
for
up
nearly
there.
a month.
Why?
26
They spent all their money on
days.
fentanyl.
That's a long
Fentanyl
Nancy
dealers had
George
to use the
waited
casinos to launder the money.
COVID-19.
Expect to make this
She
up.
was told within a couple of days her test date would be set. While waiting, she went into a
Causes to who could own what property. If you're foreign, you have to pay 15% more or something.
Both George and City News reached out to Alberta Health Services to
So what
ask
did that
about
do?
why she was
They didn't
still
stop
waiting
buying.
to be
They just pushed
tested.
the price
After
up.
our request
Okay,
and
well,
our interview,
you can either restrict the
called
foreign
George's
buyers drugs.
experience and thank them for voicing their concerns. From Edmonton, Cheryl Tasascu, City News.
It's 39 minutes past the hour. You're listening to All News Radio.
Your home is more than just a place to live. It's your window of opportunity.
It's a place of business. It's a commercial premises. You do not want to.
Equities that will give you the freedom to complete those renovations. Support your business or simply get your debt in line. An easy call to 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL.
All my trials should have been held in
All the
French.
good things you
But
thought were
I
beyond
never
your
got
reach
to
as a
the level
homeowner.
of school
So
in
pick up
French
the
to know
phone
any
and
of
call
that level of the language.
1-800-NEW-CAPITAL
In Florida,
.ca.
Roma has
you would think I know a lot about the law and shit. I barely know the language.
Are you kidding? Look at my smile. This is radio. Oh, sorry. Look at my smile. No, they can't see you. Hey, dude, you're killing the vibe. With free parcel delivery, curbside pickup, and DIY project videos, find everything you need for backyard projects at Rona.ca. Do more at home, outside. Conditions apply. 680 News is everywhere.
Even your smart speaker.
Ask to play 680 News.
Playing 680 News.
From the 680 News Traffic Center, I'm Michael Ranger. Northbound 400 highway remains closed at King Road because of a collision. You will be diverted off there. You can use Jane or Weston to continue north and get back onto the highway. We do have some ramp closures in effect because of construction. Southbound 404, no access to the highway from 16th Avenue. South 404 ramp to the eastbound 401, that remains shut down. Westbound Finch ramp to the northbound 427 closed. Eastbound Finch ramp to the northbound 400, that is also closed. Eastbound 401, there's cast.
Couples will now be able to say "I do" at Vancouver City Hall. Korean Gouda reports the city is offering up a venue for micro weddings as a pilot project.
Oh.
The idea comes from Vancouver City Councilor Melissa DiGenova, who proposed it back in 2018. Right now, the city is only offering up its new East Wing Plaza, but DiGenova says that could just be a start.
When we're able to have gatherings that are more than 50 people, that we would also be able to offer those types of ceremonies inside City Hall as well.
You know, city halls are a common venue for weddings. Toronto City Hall even has its own wedding chapel. For $85, you and your sweetheart can be married at Vancouver City Hall as long as there aren't any more than 10 people in total. I'm Korean
That's
Gouda.
just for the venue. You also have the
It's
license
42
and the
minutes
fucking...
past the hour. You're listening to All News Radio.
I've been misunderstanding that advertisement.
The Canadian economy, small businesses. In this episode, you're going to receive a masterclass in building brands and the experience economy.
Okay, thank you, Will.
And it's captained by Joe O'Brien of O'Brien Boat Tours in Newfoundland.
This is where the whale comes.
He's going to take you to the edge of the universe. Our experts jump on board with advice that anybody working in tourism, hospitality, retail, or services will want to hear. Download Chatter That Matters wherever you get your podcasts. And thanks again to RBC for your support of Small Business Matters.
When you use a War Amps key tag, you protect your keys. If you lose your keys, the finder can call the War Amps or drop them in any mailbox. And the War Amps will return them to you by courier for free.
This is All News
Why are my
Radio.
alarms going off?
Good morning, I'm Josh Ritchie.
Well, I don't know
Here's
how long
what's
I've been
breaking
online,
news right now. In March, the Friday
How did
jobs
7
report
million people
added
get the
nearly
emergency
2 million
thing?
to the list of people suddenly put without work in our country.
Too
Our
much.
unemployment rate's now at 13%, just shy of the highest in the history of our country. That has the federal government extending its emergency wage subsidy
By
program
percentage,
beyond its
but
early
the
June
population
endpoint.
is like twice as much as it was back then. Where you have to
Canadians
feed
should
twice
feel
as
they have
many.
to go to work if they don't feel safe. This as we
out.
hear of a dairy production plant in Vaughan, Ontario,
Although
now
it's
dealing
just
with
a
an
matter of
outbreak,
opinion.
almost 2 dozen infected, as well as 1 killed. COVID-19 death toll in Canada now at 4,569. More than 66,000 people have been infected, but over 30,000 have recovered. The NHL announced all international events planned for the 2020 season have been postponed due to COVID-19. The Bruins and Predators were penciled in to open up their season from the Czech Republic. Both clubs also plan to complete their training camps in Germany and Switzerland. And later in the season, the Avalanche and Blue Jackets were scheduled for a pair of regular season matchups in Helsinki, Finland. The League and Players Association did say they plan on being back in 2021. As for when action might resume for this season, the league is still under phase 1, which involves social distancing and self-quarantine. The next step would be to allow training facilities to. But according to NHL insider Chris Johnston, there are still some hurdles in place.
I think the truth is there's very few jurisdictions where NHL teams play at this moment that could even open their practice rinks. I've spoken with teams that have been having that discussion, with their local governments, and then they just don't feel they're going to be able to do it. And then, the biggest issue right now, I think, in addition to government, rules and regulations, is the testing issue.
As for the testing, it might be a factor in the league reportedly heading right into the postseason, this according to Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman.
I think that one of the reasons you're going to see no regular season, if you have to get how many thousands of tests and you can knock out 7 teams,
It tells you something. My hyperkeratosis is so bad, I have to soak it in hot water for 12 hours to make it.
But the Toronto Raptors will instead look to Monday at opening up the OVO Athletic Center in groups. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at Sportsnet. Cover the costs of sick leave through the Federal Employment Insurance Fund. John Horgan says as provinces begin to reopen their economies, it's important that workers feel secure